解不了，这个猪呢把这个Paradox这敲的这个人都敲傻了，这来不及了，牛瑞拼命在刷那个小法师，再一个地震，一个滚木，哇，这里恭喜牛瑞，
好，恭喜一下，
就差一点点，真的就差一点点。这个叫火球，
真交个火球，我这边是个狂暴，这个弩又亏了。
哇，这个弩血亏啊，这6费就下来就没了。
古龙解不掉了，古龙用火箭解，古龙用火箭解就很亏。他就一个雪球，刚刚交了去解那个击退气球了。
那基本上是
恭喜一下 Ponos。气球。
哎，有没有小电？哇，这个小电这会，这也会漏，这崩子啊！这不漏我们有一下的。
好，我们先恭喜一下 Mugi 是扳回一城啊，挽回一局。现在是看 Mugi 怎么去守这个。
哎，这个矿工要解啊！牢笼憋得出吗？牢笼？
哦，牢笼有没有？
完了！
哇，处处有惊喜，我们要恭喜一下 Ponos 是2比0拿下了对手。
boss 这波节奏是抓得非常好，还有
哇，还有一个猎人。但是这个跑得有点快。
是。
看一下这边怎么说，游侠可能要补火球了。
对的，那火球可能要补。
这火球还不砸吗？哇，这顺风车有一下，火枪顺便点掉。恭喜老板啊！
对 ，boss 笑得非常开心。那这样就可以惩盯右路了，果然点了右路，那这样应该右路是守不太住了，右路的压力非常大。
矿工再挡一挡，但是这个绿色的东西还有一个呀，绿色东西要进去了，王子再拉一下家具，还有一炮，
治疗都又奶起来了，
还有一炮吗？那么要恭喜 Banda 在最后还是干掉了 BOSS。哇，这个游侠要透死了，2下、3下、4下、5下啊，4下，很恐怖啊！一滚一火来得及吗？不够。但是这边要320一个毒药，小骷髅没有摸到，一滚一火是够了。他们要恭喜到 Line 啊，就差点就玩脱了。恭喜他了，这里是2比0，轻松战胜 Five Game。
那现在时间有一点
看一下，看左边这个羊，但是血量差的太多了，就看右边电网再踩一下，雪球给解开，这个羊冲进来了，1下、2下、3下，感觉古龙喷到了，恭喜 Wedgm。会被拉到中间的。
对 ，A 选择守不住了，选择一波换家。
是这一波换家还是很痛啊！这边有茫茫多的小骷髅，还有一个地狱龙，但是这个电法下的位置，
这个操作非常细。
是，
萝卜这个打的还是非常稳，就知道你这个血量还是破不了他，但时间也不够了。
是的，这里也是要恭喜萝卜战胜了强大的 AU， 也是帮助 Wedgm 在这一场关键的收官之战中获得了胜利。
我感觉是可以。
那这波是有机会哦。
有没有建筑？
好像能破路。就破路的情况下，还是天狗是有优势。哎呀，他想去看这个小蝙蝠，
那这波没法
没了，
没法破路了呀。
哇 ，BOSS 把这个交在后面的话，那机甲随便交桥头了呀。奶豆子先挡一下，但是这个樵夫会被锁到吗？哇，这个
箭射到了，
这一炮一发入魂啊！
把手这边又交多了，右边又是一个大电，Haruki 这大电，哦，同时想避雷，看避雷效果怎么样？看一下女枪是活下来了，
这边
但超奇死了呀，
是啊，
好像也不是，哎，这个超奇，这边有炸弹塔，炸弹塔，女武神加滚木，哇，防得很漂亮，机甲交多了，但保血量，哦，这个女武神直接被打掉了。 那这样机甲的话，这好亏啊！
这边又要下站，
下飓风吗？下飓风加鱼钩，还防得不错。这边机甲也跟多了，可以看到 Kiss 这边
也出现了。
但是这边的费用，这个青龙下的不好，但是把女枪穿掉了。小骷髅下的很快，但是这把的血量，哎，这炸2下
，2下太难了。
他另外一张应该是张小法术吧，然后还有一张剑盾。难道说不能卖啊？直接毒。
狂风来了！
哇，这波难解，这波手里哦，强行货出来牢笼。牢笼有牢笼，电法解吗？电法哦。 但这个矿工是打满伤害哦，有矿工啊！
现在是看 Mugi 怎么去守这个。
哎，这个矿工要解啊！牢笼憋得出吗？牢笼？
哦，牢笼有没有？
完了！
哇！
那他其实皇家猪猪遇到这个超起不太好哦，这个猎人下的很好啊。什么时候激活的？我怎么没有注意？皇家巨人排序我也不太记得了。
没到，还要再过2张。
哎，跳起来了，跳起来，然后哎，但是这个猎人确实下的好呀，
下的超好，
每次都完美解，这 X 波是有点头疼。推荐伤害不够啊！哎，这个幽灵直接去砍推荐了，哦，这猎人下的确实好啊。
Welcome to Clan Wars 2! Your journey begins here, and what the...
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
As I was saying... Oh, wait! Hello? Everyone seems to have left. The king should never row himself. I'll just wait here, so send someone to get me.
要滚木斩杀吗？还直接雪球预判吗？
恭喜一下 Nova。
마법들도 있고요. 파이어볼만 돌아가. 네, 마무리됐습니다.
Still, the baby dragons are alive, and that's the ground roller.
他这个超级就进来。
好，拿到了3星。
恭喜 TDG 啊！
スリープを回して KK 選手勝ち切りました。
Be careful, but still, Talon.
再加一个滚末，斩杀了。
恭喜一下 Wedgm。
2, and that's it. 3-0 Grand Finals. Bob is your Clash Royale League East champion. Nova Esports.
카이 생간의 벽기로 저의 탈론이었다.
TTG.
ロスとなりました。
Kicks against Game W. 優勝はハブゲーミング。
그라르아 리그 있어. 동안 사이트 조류사이 발 시즌頑張ります. 올 시즌 리스트 건포리스트. 파이팅!
Welcome everyone to Clash Royale League East Playoff Day 2. My name is Simon, with me is G-Clef. Yesterday we said goodbye to last season's third place team Kicks in a heartbreaking game. Like, the reactions on Twitter were, everyone was heartbroken that they went out.
As it wasn't expected for Kicks to be out in the first day. It was sort of like Nova last, the special season where they dropped out as the first team from the playoff, and now we're down to the top 5. Still, we do not have Ponos and Nova. They are waiting next weekend on that top 4 spot. Today, though, one more team is going to be eliminated, and we find out the other 2 teams that are also going to that World Finals from East. So it's going to be a heck of a day again.
Yeah, it's going to be between Fav, Talon, and WEDGM. Fav and Talon are both in that winner's side bracket, so if one of them loses, when one of them loses, they will go down to the losers bracket where they will face WEDGM in today's second game.
And even if you win against WEDGM or WEDGM winning against the loser of that match, you have to go against Ponos, or you drop immediately because you're in that losers.
You do still go to Worlds.
Yes, you do.
And when you lose, you will go to that 3rd and 4th place match, but still, you want that trophy. You want to win this league. So first up tonight is going to be Fav Gaming against Talon, and as I said, second match, WEDGM versus the loser of that match.
Just 2 matches, but it is the same format as yesterday, best of 5. So we have 3 best of 1s, set 3, 4, 5, just like yesterday, but 1 less match because gotta have today, next Saturday, and Sunday to wrap everything out. That's 6 matches left for the season, guys. What a season. I'm very excited yesterday. I couldn't handle myself after I went home. I still had the excitement within me for the next 2-3 hours before going to sleep.
Yeah, it was still buzzing afterwards, but the last 2 seasons this year, Talon have won 3 out of 4 against Fav Gaming. And it'll be Fav's second time at Worlds. If Talon wins, it will be their first time. Fav Gaming definitely needs a better performance. Now, this is something I was going to bring up just before you started talking, was Fav Gaming's best of 3 1v1 looked weak yesterday. They won the 2v2, they won the King of the Hill, but then Kicks took them all the way. Jack went down. Expo Master went down, and it wasn't until Hajime went against Icelaw that it turned around for Fav Gaming. Now that concerns me, and it should concern you if you're a Fav fan, that the best of 3s just don't seem good enough at all.
If you're a Talon fan, all you're looking is Carol to have a good day. That's all you need. And just a standard Lion 1 Crown to have a standard 2v2 and they usually get a win.
Yeah, yesterday Geralt went 5-0 playoff. So I worked it out. We talk about playoff Geralt being a monster. In playoffs this year, Geralt is 9-1.
Last season plus this season.
Yeah, King of the Hill last season and this season plus the 1v1 because he didn't get a chance to play because Lion 1 Crown went out early last time round. But it is going to be the 2v2. Jack and Kitashin. This 2v2 pairing has been working out very, very nicely for Valve Gaming. And they did take out Light and Yuya yesterday.
Yeah, no surprise here as we had 1 Crown and Lion from Talon.
You were saying you would have liked to have seen Kensameshi back in the 2v2?
I just want to see more straight up bans. No other spells are banned like freeze today. But to continue on what you were saying, I would like to have like Jack focus a little more towards 1v1.
But I feel like when he wasn't playing the 2v2s, his 1v1 suffered because he got into like he dug his mental state into a hole.
I know he's good at both, and it's okay to be good at both, but maybe the pressure can get to you during the playoff. So focusing only on one, if I were the coach, I would do it. But he's overall talented at both.
Yeah, so we're going to see what this means. Graveyard ban and Giant Skeleton ban. That opens up the bridge quite a lot. It also kind of stops any last-minute trickery that we have seen so far this season with that Graveyard freeze. What was it? The Royal Giant Graveyard, was it? Balloon Graveyard?
And yesterday we had another Graveyard RG. So those combinations are pretty much sealed by having no Graveyard, but still the freeze is available, which tends to lead a lot more of Balloon, maybe Double Balloon, Lava Balloon, only Lava Miner. So I think I don't think we're staying too much of a ground today, but something you need to look for when you do that, those are going to be exposed from Talon.
I was going to say, with Graveyard getting banned in Giant Skeleton, I feel like Valve might take to the skies, and that would open up those double expo plays that we've seen Talon completely dominate with in 2v2.
But that's exactly what we expect, and Bob should know that 100%.
So what would you bring against it?
RGs? Mega Knight RGs? There's the lava from Talon.
Yeah, so it is Talon Lion and 1 Crown in red at the top, and Kitashin and Jack in blue at the bottom.
Is it with the Miner? Is it with the Balloon? Don't see any Inferno Dragons yet.
With the Baby Dragons. It's the only card we're ever going to see. Ooh, Lightning.
Lightning. As Double Lava actually became a win condition, just to do more damage to tower, consistent damage.
Yeah, the Mega Minion is going to be able to tank up those pubs, but we won't be able to get through this Baby Dragon. The Baby Dragon, last second lock on onto that Lava Hound.
Yeah, great placement of Valve Gaming Lava Hound there. It does take some damage, but still the tower. It takes some extra from the Lightning.
There's a cage here. That might prove very tasty later on, because those Goblin Brawlers tend to sneak under the radars of the teams and connect into towers. I thought it was going to be one right there, but it is shut down eventually. And there is an Inferno Dragon and Baby Dragon crossing the bridge for Fav. What does Talon have to stop it?
Just before that Inferno Dragon connection into Princess Tower.
There shouldn't have been any worry. They had plenty of elixir to defend, but it got close.
Just trying to buy maximum time for both teams. What are we worrying about? These are the best teams.
This has been a game of edges right now. Like, everything is getting close to dealing damage and getting denied at the last minute. How can they push over that edge and get those big connections that they need?
With about the same elixir, Talon is certainly putting up more, even further of a lead with that Lightning now.
Yeah, Fav is struggling to get into the tower, but this push is very big, but there's still a lot of elixir on the side of Talon, so they should be able to handle this very nicely. The Mega Minion goes down.
Poison burning through a lot of those Baby Dragon Mega Minions. Lightning from Bob.
distracted by the Heal Spirit, and that's going to be cleaned up nicely, but the gap is closing. Fav are catching up to Talon.
Less than 100 HP difference here. Lightning from both sides. And their fireball.
Yeah, that Lava Hound is doing work right now.
A lot of work. There's that lightning from Talon this time.
The Valkyrie almost got a spin, and the Tornado Heal Spirit to just eliminate the pups. Comes down again. One Baby Dragon does get through on the left, and it's not being targeted by anything. The Mega Minion has to come down, and just like that, Fav take a slight lead, but they have to defend this push. The cage is good. It's going to distract a lot. Mega Minion against Mega Minion. It's going to turn around and start defending the Lava Hound, but the Fisherman gets into the tower.
Oh, that's way too much.
38 left. One lightning will do it.
Long will finish it. 2 poison ticks.
Talon proving their 2v2 dominance transcends regular season as they continue to win in these playoff matches. Lion and One Crown just downright scary.
They wanted to push even from the beginning, just starting with the lightning. Let's see, because they also have lava, so their attack shouldn't be ground focused, and I don't think they will play too many ground units at all. And but they had Mini P.E.K.K.A. to go against some Valkyries, go against some Fishermen, never really getting a chance to play that card.
Yeah, that one Baby Dragon almost changed the game, but the Mega Minion does defend nicely, and this push was just a bit too overwhelming. The Fisherman was a good pickup here on the side of Talon. And that not getting...
Ooh, I think the Heal Spirit was supposed to be the target for the Fisherman, but it was spawned just a little too late.
Yeah. And after that, it was just basic. Throw down a poison, hope you don't lose while it's ticking down. I mean, that was a very, very solid 2v2. There wasn't much...
It wasn't flashy. It was a slow, consistent lava plays with some more lava actually doing work. Pups never really got a chance to, because both sides having Tornado, Baby Dragon Splash, and Heal Spirit, so Pups are just gone in an instant. But mostly was how well do you place your Baby Dragon so they're away from each other, and how well can they actually do with the Splash.
And how well you can keep your Mega Minion alive while your opponent's falls down, because the Mega Minions were probably the strongest defensive tool against the Baby Dragon and against the Inferno Dragon. So the longer you can keep one alive, the more value it generates, the better it is, because when everything's in the sky, Mega Minion kind of does control everything.
Yep, exactly. And also had, other than that, no real anti-air from the ground, like an Archer, Musketeer. There was nothing like that. It was only Cage, Brawler, and Valkyrie, Fisherman. I think that was about it. Mini P.E.K.K.A. not being played by Fav at all.
What ground unit would you put in there, though? I mean, you could put Archers in for a slightly quicker cycle, but they're not exactly tanky. Like, that's why the Mega Minion, I think, makes the perfect sense, is because it has that body behind it. But it...
And you can't put anything heavier because you already have 2 lavas in your deck, and you also have lightning. So that's already somewhat heavy of a 2v2 deck. If you think about all the Baby Dragon, Mega Minion, those are Inferno, that's a lot of 4s and 3s. So it cannot be light.
So game 2 will soon be upon us. Will it be another Sky Battle, or will Talon decide it's time to bring the Expos into this one? We'll find out relatively soon. Graveyard is the ban. Giant Skeleton is the ban from the side of Talon.
And surprisingly, Talon asked for a timeout after a win.
Clearly not happy with how close that was. Maybe upset that they didn't dominate the same way they did yesterday.
Don't exactly know. Maybe it was about the deck they expected Fav to play.
Not expecting it to be a lava match. Yeah.
I think that could have been the result.
Talon still almost making the same mistake. If the deck was on that window, that would have been a mistake they got called out for very early in the season.
And another chance, another reason why the coaches call for timeout is usually you have at least like 2 decks or 3 decks prepared, and then you want this deck for them to play specifically into game 2. So you want to go in and talk to them, hey, how about this? I think this is a really good deck against Fob right now. You should try this other than the ones that we practice the most.
Oh, that's risky though on game day, changing up the decks that you haven't practiced all week. Well, whatever happens. Game 2 is here. Jack and Kitassian in blue, Lion and One Crown in red.
I'm sure they have a lot of decks, but some just being more practiced within the week.
So Lion and One Crown have played every 2v2 on the side of Talon, and they are 10-5 in terms of set score. 22-16 in game score. That is a very impressive stat. But then you look over at Jack and Kitassian, 7-3 in terms of set, 15-8 in terms of game score. Both of these 2v2 pairings are very, very strong, and it is Lava Hound again from both sides here.
Only change would be, doesn't start with that Mega Minion, it's Infernos. And you even spent a Lightning here to get that reset. Neither teams are going to try a similar move this time. Maybe it's not in their starting hand.
This time a Lava played right at the bridge for Talon. Very aggressive there. Fireball comes in, but there's no follow-up here. Mega Minion is down, but the Baby Dragon on the left-hand side is going to take care of that. But the other Baby Dragon is going to take care of him too.
This hurts Bob a lot more because for Talon their initial Inferno actually survived and got 2 Lavas down.
Yeah, and Fav Gaming's Lava just obliterated over the bridge. Didn't get anywhere near the tower.
So less elixir used, less card being shown, takes less damage. What else can you hope for?
I think both teams know what decks the opponents are playing, and that is risky. Knowing there's a tornado, guessing there's only 1 tornado on the side of Fav with that minor placement.
Very likely, I think. You don't really see 2 tornadoes handled, but with that Lumberjack, that's a big hint for a balloon push. Double Lava, single balloon.
Yeah, and I think that might actually be troublesome for Talon to deal with, because their area is going to get locked up against these Lava Hounds. So if a balloon does come down, they're going to struggle to reach it. But look at the damage getting in on that right-hand tower. 1357 remains on there as Fav Gaming need this push to get work done. There is a Night Witch on the side of Talon. Does that mean there is a clone? Maybe.
It's hard to say exactly of how much they want to get. Is that minor now? Just a minor Lava from Fav.
Yeah, look at all this still there. The Inferno Dragon has to be tornadoed away, but there isn't enough to take it out. And just like that, Fav take a giant lead. And no clone on the side of Talon, just playing this one very, very straight.
And that hurt Talon a lot in terms of elixir defense, and also the tower damage. Another lightning going into Talon's tower directly. Fireball combo.
And that's going to clean up most of that defense.
This is huge.
There's nothing else to shoot up. It's going to be difficult. The miner sneaks in, and that takes the Baby Dragon aggro away.
Talon needs a tornado now. That's enough, but with no combo.
Nothing else is there. They're just going to accept this one and take the loss. Fav Gaming take the win. That miner underneath the Baby Dragon was very nice. If that Baby Dragon actually turned its attention to the air troops around it, it might have been a nicer defense. Talon might have held on for another push, but the wage of war was in Fav's favor that whole game, I feel. There was 1 or 2 moments where it looked like Talon had the upper hand, but Fav instantly countered with Lavas at the bridge of their own. Double that up with double Inferno Dragons, double Baby Dragons, and there's just not much you can really do.
Yeah, the biggest difference, of course, Talon got a big lead to begin with in this 2v2 matchup, but the big difference will be the poison from Talon, Fireball from Fav. Tornado Fireball combo were doing so much, taking out most of the units, at least damaging enough so that it goes down to a few pubs and extra damage.
Yeah, and Fav made a very interesting change by taking out, I think it was the mini P.E.K.K.A for the Lumberjack, yeah. So putting in the Lumberjack instead of the mini P.E.K.K.A just gives a little bit more utility to their cards because that rage pops and anything you have there instantly becomes better.
We've seen this combo. It's not the first time. I think it's our second time seeing this miner, even with the Valkyrie, just in case of a graveyard, which is banned this time, but they are trying for the exact same combination. Double lava, Lumberjack with the miner, and of course the Baby Dragon Inferno, if they're also raged up, they do a heck of a lot of damage. I think that's one that Talon did not really think through.
So is this the game for Expo, or is it going to be Lava Hound versus Lava Hound one more time?
Even if you have Expo, when you have that Lumberjack rage, it might not be enough, so Talon better bring some Fireball for a change. Lightning Poison is a good combo also to get some tower damage when you are thinking about that many pops. You can get most of the small units down, but Fireball is just instant, and when you need it clumped up together with the Tornado, it's a better combination.
Well, I guess a timeout has been called from Fav on this one, since Talon used theirs. Just double check that. No information? Alright, well someone has because his coach is in the room. 3 Lava Hound games. I don't want to see it. I want to see something else here, but
without the giant skeleton and graveyard.
Yeah, I know it's worked well for both teams already. Game 1 worked really well for Talon. Game 2, a slight adjustment with the Lumberjack over the mini P.E.K.K.A worked out even better. So Game 3, are there going to be any other changes to these decks, or are they going to be bringing completely new ones? We'll find out as we get into this one. Fav, Jack, and Kitashian in blue at the bottom of the screen. One crown and line of Talon in red at the top. Both teams just waiting for that 10 elixir mark.
Both teams waiting for that Expo play.
Ice Spirit Log.
Oh,
is
today the day?
Is it going to be Expo?
You feel it, Simon?
No.
Oh, you feel those Teslas coming down soon enough? Yes, yes, 100% yes. And Fav
have EQ, and that just kind of ruins the day.
Maybe Hogs though.
Another Expo load
Tesla
this time on the left.
Oh, mortar.
Okay, it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. There's a Rocket as well. Does keep all that up.
Rocket doesn't instantly get Expo down. It leaves some HP, but it does go down very quickly after the Rocket.
Fire Spirits. Now there is a card we do not see very often in professional play.
Maybe Fav were thinking another Lava Hound from Talon, you know? Just in case of all those pups and Night Witch.
But this is
extremely defensive deck, relying on some rocket damage.
Yeah, this is very difficult for us to kind of predict because we generally don't get to see this matchup very often, where it's an anti-Lava Hound deck against an Expo deck. Some of the damage from the Firecracker connecting into the tower there.
Yeah, Fav has read this Expo deck to come out 100%. Of course, the Firecracker's activating the King Tower is going to happen all the time in 2v2.
Another Expo and a Mortar to answer. Ice Whiz and then Rocket. Yep, it's like we're watching a repeat of about a minute ago.
But just with the King Tower activated on top.
That's how you know it's live. Okay, Tesla played down. Ducks out of the way of the Mortar. Is it go time for an Expo? There's nothing on the ground right now. There is a window. Firecracker does step up though. It is going to be able to block the shots. And then the Mortar is there and the Knight. This is dealt with very, very nicely.
Yeah, with that Mortar damage and plus the log, Expo, no connection again. Firecracker did go down pretty early this time.
Yeah, another Expo, another distracted Expo here, another EQ on top.
Yeah, EQ cycles keep on happening, so I think Talon might be switching to the right for the next Expo.
Well, you look at what Fav have.
Here comes the Rocket.
Yeah, it's very clear that Fav are all about this spell damage, the EQ and the Rocket, the poison. It's very clear they knew what they were walking into in this one. And Talon just have an insurmountable task ahead of them to try and get that Expo connection.
Yeah, these Expos are going nowhere. Look at the damage into those towers. It is going down sooner or later.
Another EQ tornado. Oh, look at that cleanup.
That splash into that Expo too. And Mortar is always doing consistent damage.
All it will take is one slip up, one Knight to walk out of the way like
Oh,
that.
that tornado pull, and the second Knight doesn't come in time. It's just not enough to come back into the game though, but that puts them close.
That's what they have to do. They have to get tricky with these plays and try to just beat the cycle of Fav. It's difficult for them to do, but they might be able to do it here. Another Expo comes down. There is a Knight in the way.
They're pulling it all the way on the left, so it can't be pulled towards the right. And the second Knight even right on point.
And the damage is just coming through on that left-hand
Looking
tower,
real
isn't
bad
it?
for Talon. You need something else, and can't really do it right now with the deck.
Another EQ, Poison, and Rocket, and Talon, no. It is over. There you have it. Fav Gaming's 2v2 takes out Line and One Crown. And it is very unusual to see that 2v2 pairing get defeated here. But it is the case. Jack and Katassian beat the double Expo.
I think it's only the second time that 2v2 Expo deck actually lost in East out of 6 or 7 matches that we had throughout the season.
But it ran into a deck clearly designed to defeat the Expo. And
it was perfect these nights.
You know what? I'm going to say, I like the way that Fav Gaming went lava anti-Expo deck. It's like they were teasing Talon. It's like, we know you like to play Expo against Lava Hound. Let's see how you do. And they waited until the third and final game to bring the anti-deck, knowing that Talon would go that way. It's the mind game.
This seemed like one of those perfect 1v1 games where you take close to no damage. And 2v2, it's very rare and very hard to leave your tower this much over health by the end of overtime.
Oh, you just know that Fav were tempting Talon to go for this deck. They had the perfect counter deck made. And the best thing is, even if they bought it in game 1 or game 2, this deck could have appeared earlier. Oh, it's nasty. The mind games there are incredible, but 2v2 is done. It is time to go to King of the Hill and the 1v1 sets. Now, when I was looking at the stats and looking at what would happen today and see if I could figure something out, I thought Fav would take the 2v2. But then I think Talon are going to take the King of the Hill. And when you get to those 1v1 matchups, I feel right now that Talon is slightly stronger in that department. Best of 3 1v1 with Lion, Blizzard, Geralt. I feel like that is much stronger at this moment than Jack, Expo Master, Hajime, Katassian.
So 2v2, I think this gives a lot of hints of what might happen today. Talon should not have played the Expo deck, even though they're really good at it, because we can make predictions. And if Simon and G-Clef can make these kind of predictions and get them right, very likely Fav, they will do deeper research. They will know 100% when it comes out. So if Talon also be this naive in their deck choices in 1v1, I think they will be just shoved out and tossed into the trash can from Fav Gaming. They have done so much studies.
But it is
playoff
Geralt. Someone toss a coin to the Witcher, because after yesterday's performance, you've got to believe in him right now. You have to believe that Geralt can bring this again. After essentially manhandling WEDGM yesterday, and he manhandled WEDGM just a week ago, 2 weeks ago as well. The last set of games he played in the regular season. I mean, Geralt is downright scary at this moment.
Yeah.
Jack, on the other hand, has been very hit or miss.
They both broke the data. Oh, now it just came back on screen. so it killed my joke, but Geralt yesterday broke the entire team by himself.
Yeah.
Up the hill, 1v1. We were done 3-0.
And the last time these two teams met, Geralt did get the upper hand over Jack in that King of the Hill. I'll see what he was playing then. He was playing Royal Giant with the Ewiz Fisherman, which is still everywhere in this meta, absolutely everywhere. But yesterday he did play Minor Loon and 2 games with the Royal Giant.
And wall breakers, here we go. We saw a whole lot of RG Royal Ghost yesterday. 3.4 and also the 3.8 with the Fisherman Ewiz Cage combination with Royal Giant.
I was just looking, I think someone played this yesterday on the side of Fav, but I think it was WEDGM who were playing the minor wall breakers. Okay, against the Mega Knight.
Mega Knight, I think it's ran from Geralt with that Inferno here. So he should be waiting for some wall breakers to come down.
That Inferno Dragon was completely protected against that Ewiz there. Royal Ghost, the real winner of the latest balance update, because he is in so many different decks right now. One hit into the wall breaker. The other wall breaker will go down with the Barb Hut, and a Tesla played in the middle.
As a Hulk player, you gotta love that Tesla. The final 2 cards, waiting for M card Fireball, 4.0 from Geralt. So knowing that, Jack is having an easy placement of that miner.
Yeah, also interesting that Geralt didn't try to throw anything around that miner there, just letting it go completely into that tower. 2198 remaining there. Ewiz to defend the wall breakers. Nice heal spirit is there from Geralt. A lot of damage coming through. There are a lot of bodies, but that Tesla is proving to be an incredible tool defensively here as it takes out the Mega Knight, the Royal Ghost, and that Barbarian from the Barbarian Barrel.
Most of the damage actually came down from Tesla. And somewhat from the delivery. So good combination here again. Jack proving their worth of real quick cycle from minor wall breaker deck.
Yeah, he was doing what it can defensively.
Tesla not the best building against the Ghost. So this Mega Knight will actually get the Knight down.
There's the Ram Rider. The Heal Spirit has to be used there with the Barbarian Barrel to take care of those miners. Now, is this Ram Rider going to find a way through? No, it is not. The Mega Knight, not a big enough body to keep her on the right-hand side of the arena here. So she's not going to get a connection into the tower. And Jack is playing this like a single-player game because he is not taking any damage at all.
But Geralt is trying to get the cycle off for Jack's Knight, so it's harder to defend. But the cycle is so quick; it comes back in his hand all the time.
Oh, that RG sneaking across the river, helping to assassinate the Ewiz, might just prove vital here. The Inferno Dragon is then distracted by the skeletons. Those wall breakers just dealt with in the nick of time. And you can see Geralt realizes that this is going to be a very, very difficult matchup to get any kind of damage into the tower. There's just too many distraction tools for Jack.
Because Ram Rider is nowhere getting a connection, and there's no defensive Ram Rider use really for Geralt right now. She's supposed to be good against Hogs and Balloons that Jack, I think, could have brought, but did not this time.
Yeah, and the Ewiz slowing down the ramp just makes it even worse for Geralt because it's not going to get that charge damage in and take it down real quick. Wall breakers are taken out.
Yep.
And just like that, Jack has a massive advantage. Is he the kryptonite of play of Geralt?
He even plays an offensive poison because he's that much of a lead. Has to use the miner for the cycle to wait for that Knight now. He's got the lead, so as long as he defends this push, Jack should be good to win.
Yeah, the Ram Rider completely avoided the Ewiz there. It does manage to take out one of those Teslas. Is it going to be distracted again here? There is nothing to stop it. It's gonna charge through. The delivery tries to do what it can, but it does get a connection. Fireball comes in.
Oh, one more connection from the Ram Rider. 902 needs a poison right now from Jack. And
there is a fireball on the side of Geralt. He can continue to just control this now.
It's coming back in his hand right now.
But the miner's gonna get a hit or two. The Ewiz is there to try and stop it. The poison is late.
Geralt makes the impossible push happen with the Ram Rider in triple elixir time.
Wow, again. I feel like Linus is sitting there going like,
what?
Dude,
that works?
Why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep being behind 98% of the game? You get one big push, one connection, and sneak a win because your opponent doesn't have the elixir to throw down the spell they need. We saw it multiple times yesterday where this happened, where Geralt gives everyone a heart attack. And he's done it again. He takes out Jack in the King of the Hill.
What a player, what a dark horse from Talon that no one really expected.
So here, that Ram Rider just completely avoiding the Ewiz, the Heal Spirit getting a hit, and you're like, all right.
And then it got into this. Got into the second Tesla immediately. That's gone. So Tesla not back in his hand right now.
And with the Ewiz being deleted, that Ram Rider then has the opportunity to get damage in, which it hadn't done for the whole game. It took 4.5 minutes for a Ram Rider to get into the tower. And not only does it get into the tower, it ends up winning the game for Geralt.
And before that connection, I think the tower still had like 2,200-ish.
It was very high. Yeah, it was very high. There is snatched from the jaws of defeat. I don't know what else we can say there. I mean, there was once I say slip up, but it was still played great by Jack. But the Ewiz not stopping those Ram Rider charges coming in the first time into the Tesla ended up being huge.
I think if Ewiz was not put down right in the middle for the spawn damage, I think he kills the spawn damage but keeps the Ewiz up.
It wasn't in the middle. It was on the side.
On the left, and there was one more dropped right on top.
Yeah, okay, that one. I was thinking the first one that came down, it didn't get a chance to stop the charge coming in on that first Tesla. Normally, we saw that repeated time and time again. The Ewiz was there just to zap and stop it, but there was just so many bodies in that group, the Ewiz couldn't get the target down. So Jack goes out, Kitassian in. Yesterday, he played RG Barb Hut, he played a 3.0 Expo, and he played the E-Golem with the Barb Hut. And I feel like he would bring the E-Golem here to try and take out Geralt.
And Geralt might also bring E-Golem. There's always a chance. You know, it's not the first time that he played E-Golem during the season. But Kitassian also had some great plays last night on his own, bringing a few wins for the team.
Yeah, he got 2 wins in the King of the Hill just last night. Definitely helping out his team where possible, because before this, he was kind of always stuck in the 2v2. We never really got to see him in 1v1 until the second half of the season. But Kitassian in King of the Hill right now is 4-2. He's beaten Huyi, Paradox, Benzo, Yuya, and lost to Nuamisa and Light.
I would say both players are like the sidekick of the team. Not really being in the spotlight, but they're starting to actually sneak into that lighted section. As Geralt again. Will this be possible for Team Talon?
Well, every
and
time
Geralt?
Every time Kitassian has come out this season, he's got 2 wins in King of the Hill. If he gets 2 wins here, we go to set 5 or set 4.
We go to set 5 already.
We will be going to set 5 because if he gets the 2 wins and then loses, we get a set 5.
Ah,
simple math, mate.
2
simple
set
math.
wins. Okay, I thought you said 2 game wins.
That is 2 game wins. I was talking about game 5.
Ah, okay,
getting my games and sets confused. All right, Twin Tower activation here for Geralt, and it is going to be Lava Miner for Kitassian.
Lava Miner with what? Is it with the Night Witch or the Tombstone that we have seen yesterday with the Barbarians?
It's Electro Dragon.
Oh.
We only really see that card in one deck. surprisingly, it is a great card, but with the battle
Also in
healer.
Golem,
Could be Golem.
but with the battle healer, less likely.
Fireball comes in, that helps remove.
Inferno's still there.
And that's
So,
a lot of bodies getting
yeah.
into the tower. The Baby Dragon actually connects.
Bad news.
Miner is there too. The Inferno Dragon is still healthy. Geralt has no elixir, and that tower is down. Kitassian just found a window of opportunity to get a huge connection in.
When you, the moment Geralt saw that Miner being played, he had to really save up that E-Dragon.
I think it was more like putting down the battle healer just removed enough elixir that Geralt couldn't really do anything defensively, and the battle healer did not accomplish anything. Night Witch it is for Kitassian, so it is Night Witch Lava against E-Golem.
But E-Golem always has a chance.
It does, but we gotta see it. The battle healer there, again, does nothing. It just deletes itself off the page.
Pretty nice tornado. And also Fireball Zap from Kitachian. Here comes that Elixir Golem.
Yeah, the battle healer is there. That's a very
Push
healthy.
looks good.
Yeah, those are very healthy, but the Lava Hound is going to distract those air troops long enough. And that is a good tornado, allowing the E-Drag to get a couple of bounces, but the barbs are going to help defend. The Fireball, too, is just going to stop the battle healer from getting close. And that is that. Geralt goes down to Kitassian. It was a Lava Barbarian matchup against the E-Golem, and the E-Golem does flounder.
Yeah, Lava Miner, Night Witch. Geralt, I think first he wanted to have a perfect cycle set up for his own Elixir Golem push, that he certainly has to wait until a minute mark. But when you lose a tower that early, which does happen often when you play that E-Golem deck, sometimes you can just never come back when there's a fireball. That takes care of most of the units, and especially the battle healer, which was taken care of most of the time pretty well by Kitassian.
Yeah, even that barb barrel there just did absolutely nothing. The battle healer, I would say, is the one misgiving, I think, of Geralt there. He played it to try and just distract, but yes, it distracts, but that's 4 elixir.
And Fireball here, you don't really see zaps. There was a zap right there, right after that, deleting that battle healer. So those zaps actually controlled a lot when he needs that, the finishing touch onto that battle healer and few of those small units. Just a zap.
Ouch. All right, Geralt goes out, so it is finally time to see the playoff versions of the rest of Talon. We haven't had a chance to see them so far. Who are you expecting, Lion or Blizzard?
Lion and then Blizzard has been the roster order all the time through the regular season. I imagine that it's not going to change at all until the final day, if they even go to the grand finals.
If Kitassian wins this and then loses game 4, he has gone 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 in every King of the Hill appearance.
So then why not put him first? So you at least have 2 wins.
He came out first before and did 2-1. He, like, when he comes out, he goes 2-1. It's just something that happens. If he wins here against Line, he will be continuing on the trend of going 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Unless he goes 3-0, which would be even nicer for him. Let's see. Dex played before Royal Hogs. He's played Loon Recruits, Loon MK. Lion has quite a bit of variance. He's also played Expo, Hog Riders, the Mortar Skeleton Barrel decks that have been knocking around. What is he going to bring in this one?
The Bowler Balloon, we have seen yesterday, has been getting a lot of love throughout the community.
The Bowler Freeze Balloon? Well, I mean, yesterday we saw that from Fav Gaming. We saw it from Expo, Jack, and then Hajime, and only Hajime won with that deck. It was 1 win out of 3 for the deck. It was played in the 1v1 sets mostly. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, only Hajime seemed to make it look competent. Jack and Expo Master kind of floundered with it. Like, they weren't really comfortable playing it on stage. At least that's how it felt to me.
Even with that much practice, and they were playing the same deck over and over. Had to be designed perfectly against that RG deck that's been going around so much. But we'll see Line. He also loves to play that Expo deck.
Yeah, he also likes to play those E-Golem decks too, so we'll see if he's going to be bringing a dirty deck or a skillful deck. And dirty deck here, depends on your definition, could even include Expo, because a lot of people not happy with the way that Expo performs lately, think it's a bit too strong.
Expo stayed the same. It's always strong.
Birth, Love, and Expo 3.0, the 3 constants in life, you know?
No Expo this time from either side, with Cage and Fisherman now.
So, Royal Recruits coming down. This could be the balloon for Line. And for Katassian, looking like it is going to be a Royal Giant.
Don't know exactly with that combo. For Line, always a chance for Royal Hogs with Recruits Cage. And with Magic Archer.
Ooh, getting the hits in through the tower here. Royal Hogs for Line. Perfectly
Fireball's
timed.
out. So this may be tower down, close to it at least.
And Katassian has no elixir left. He's got nothing to defend the Hogs. He has to let them go. The Royal Ghost, though, he's going to get 1 hit. And that Hog is going to slowly finish the tower. The slowest take of a tower you'll ever see in Clash Royale, that 1 set of Hogs against the tower. It just takes forever if it's not defended.
Still, it takes the tower down. And that's all that matters.
So Katassian down 1 tower. Line pretty much erected a wall at this point. Has only taken about 300-400 damage on his own towers. So we have to see how Katassian can react with the deck that he has decided to bring. If it does go to 2 towers, do you think that Katassian would have the advantage with the RG over the Royal Hogs?
I'd say yes. But Royal Hog's also good against Fishermen. It's actually not too bad. The fact that Katassian doesn't have a building might also hurt him at the same time. It depends on how Line uses that Magic Archer.
These Hogs going to get into the tower, but the Royal Ghost and the Ewiz will make light work of that with the Barbarian Barrel coming in over the top. This RG, how much damage can it do? The Hunter takes out the Royal Ghost. The Cage is there. Heal Spirits popping off on both sides. Fireball to take out the Hunter. This Goblin Brawler, though, is still alive, and that's going to take care of that RG. And Katassian only has 30 seconds left to deal 1,200 damage into that tower on the right. Recruits come down, though. That's a great defensive tool against what we see so far from Katassian on the field.
Again, 4-2, focusing more defense on the right line. Knows that he only has to wait for the 15 seconds. RG loaded, but takes the fireball damage already. There's that Heal Spirit.
And the Hunter's already down. No pressure defending that one. Line takes game 3 almost emphatically here. Barely even challenged. Katassian no longer the 2 wins, 1 loss guy. He gets 1 and 1. And Line played that absolutely blindingly there.
Yeah. Right after the fireball, it's go sign for the Royal Hogs. One of the most common Royal Hog deck you see out there.
Do you think Katassian should have held on to the fireball a little bit longer?
Maybe, because whenever you smell there's a chance, even after seeing two cars, Recruit Cage, there's a big chance for RG, but
that
also
fireball missed the Magic Archer. That's what did him in there. I didn't even catch the miss.
Yeah, Ghost just hitting the Magic Archer and just going on towards the tower. No defense there.
And that is how tight games can be in the professional scene, is when one fireball misses a very important target, you lose a tower. 1 misplayed fireball cost him that tower.
Yeah, we had a lot of the very similar combination with a Royal Giant yesterday.
Yep.
And which I actually thought was a lot more common to see Royal Hogs instead, which is being played a lot in the West. So Kitacha may have thought it's an RG instead of the Royal Hogs. But you always, when you have to doubt yourself before you use that big spell. And
Yeah.
Fireball, I think.
Now think, if he didn't use that fireball and just took a couple of hits from that magic archer.
Even if you got the magic archer, I think the Hogs, it wasn't going to be towered down because the Royal Ghost would be there. But still, the lead that Lion would have had with that play would be big enough that he would win the game eventually, though.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that is done. Who is going to be Lion's next opponent?
Expo Master. Let's say
Hajime?
Hajime or Expo Master, but
Kentsumeshi?
Kentsumeshi.
It is Golem era.
You think so?
No.
Did we see a Golem yesterday?
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No, we did not.
As soon as I got home.
We got E Golem.
As soon as I got home, I fell asleep and dreamed of nothing but Golem. But it is going to be Hajime coming out, the savior of Fav Gaming yesterday, as he did eventually overcome Ice Law in that final 1v1 where Fav was struggling. Jack went down, Expo Master went down. In those 1v1 sets, Hajime was the only one to win a best of 3 on the side of Fav Gaming. Not the kind of stat you want when your life literally depends on this. Your life in this tournament depends on this. They have to win here, they go to Worlds. If they lose, they have to go back through WEDGM.
And that's tough. You win, you go to Worlds. That's the road you want to take for both teams. And Lion looking to close out King of the Hill on his own with another game win. But Hajime is the player that made the Boulder Balloon freeze work yesterday and had an amazing win against Kings.
Yeah, he played the Loon Bowler Freeze, he played Lava Miner with the Barbarians and the Flying Machine, and he also played the Lava Night Witch as well. So, if you're Lion, would you be expecting it to go into the air for this match?
I think that's not a bad prediction, but knowing how tricky Fav can be, I think Hajime will stay out of air, go back to the old decks like the Ice Graveyard and some RGs, even some cannon cards.
The last time these two teams played, Geralt was the one to knock him out, and he played Graveyard Baby Dragon. That was the last time we saw Hajime. What else was in that deck? Mega Minion, Bomb Tower, Delivery Poison. So, Barb Hut coming down. Now, there was a time where Bob Hut would singularly highlight it would be a graveyard deck, but we really don't see those days anymore. It tends to be G.
Yeah, it might just be graveyard with the poison now after playing those 4 cards. For Hajime, of course. Lions still can be RG.
With the Mega Minion, though, it's not the usual card we see with the graveyard, right?
It's the updated version with the E-Wiz. But I believe it's 4.1. There are some battle healers in there too.
Okay.
Heavier version, certainly.
Throwing out those Barb Barrels to defend, and a Mega Minion comes out again for Hajime here. There is that graveyard coming down. The Fisherman is there. Baby Dragon's going to help defend E-Wiz with that 4 damage. He's going to help defend here. Poison comes down to try and take him off the board. He is going to go down, but not a lot of damage getting done. But Line spent a hell of a lot of elixir defending that.
Fisherman, Heal Spirit, Baby Dragon, and even the E-Wiz, right?
Yep.
Totally worth it. When you can get that much poison worth.
And Line placing that deep Barb Hut now that he knows 100% it is graveyard. And that will protect the tower just slightly from that graveyard damage.
Just waiting for his Imagine it's going to be 3.9 RG with the baby dragon.
There is the graveyard.
Ooh, pops it.
Is on the side. It's not going to get much more damage into the skeletons here. So some damage sneaking through. 1848. The Mega Minion is going to be distracted by a barb. Is this the go time for a RG? There's 4 barbs coming down the lane and a baby dragon. Deciding that no, the fireball value is all he needs there. Poison comes in from Hajime onto the 2 barb huts, which causes one to pop. There are 6 barbs in the lane. There is the RG. The baby dragon is getting taken out by that Mega Minion, but the heal spirit's going to keep it alive. The RG though, 1 shot. It's going to get 2, and that is that line. Needs to get more value out of these RGs if he's going to push over Hajime.
Ooh, just poison, as the Knight Yu is still pretty damaged. Hajime is being very aggressive today, knowing how passive he can get with the graveyard decks. He knows that the more pressure he gives with the graveyard decks, Lion's going to lose his timing of having these RGs.
So Lion makes a nice adjustment based on that aggression by starting this RG far in the back. Baby Dragon and the Fisherman there. Heal Spirit healing up ever so slightly. Knight pulled out the way.
The hut will take second shot, but still no direct hit onto the tower. Now the counter somewhat being made. Okay, maybe not this. Oh, with the second Baby Dragon, I think Hajime wants to press on this.
Yeah, it looks as though he's going to crack over the defenses here. Fireball has to come out, which means no RG is going to come, but that Baby Dragon is very healthy. The EWIS has to be dropped right on top for that reset. And here is the RG, but it's going to go straight into another full health Barb Hut. And that's going to get completely shut down.
Before the tower connection, as it will get the Barb Hut, but Hajime will get the counter with the Knight and the Barb Barrel now. Princess Tower locked on, EWIS in defense. No poison yet.
This is a lot of bodies crossing the bridge. The RG has to be played to try and just cause a distraction, but the Barb Hut from Hajime comes down again. And Line just cannot get into Hajime's towers. It just seems like an impossible task. There's just too much stuff. Fireball takes out the EWIS, pushes it out onto the side, but it's not going to be enough to completely eliminate it. And Line almost throwing in the towel, putting that RG on the right-hand side, knowing that he's not going to be able to take this one. It looks as though we're going to a Game 5 of this King of the Hill. Hajime takes a win.
Pretty quick push. If he had the battle healer, I think it would have been a lot heavier, which is over 4, but with the Knight brings it just a little bit down, closer to 4 or a little bit lower than 4 even. Yes, that graveyard, he was being way too aggressive, but just enough. He didn't really cross the line where Lion would get some chances to put down that RG right after for a big counter push.
Yeah,
Hajime always waited for the perfect poison circle to get at least the EWIS, some damaged Baby Dragon, so that the RG push from Lion is not as powerful.
But I mean, those Barb Huts were coming back so quickly for Hajime. It just stopped those RGs in their tracks. They had 2 shots, I think, was all that got into a tower.
So Lion had to make a decision with the Fireball. Do I hit the EWIS or do I hit the Hut? Then Hut goes down, but the EWIS is healthy. That's going to give more. Of course, the Fireball doesn't kill the EWIS, but still with an extra damage it can. So those are the decisions that you have to make on the fly, but oftentimes, and I think every time in that game, was towards the EWIS, not the Hut.
Yeah, it was.
Knowing that the RG might just not do any damage, so
I mean,
might as well do damage to the EWIS instead of Barbarian, giving more of a bigger push when that Barb Hut is down. And the counter push comes right after.
Well, Line tried that. He tried the RG at the back, waiting for the Barb Hut to fall, but then there was just so much pressure at the bridge that Line could not defend it. Like, he put one at the back, he starts building this nice push. Line's got a good push. The Barb Hut comes down, but there is just Baby Dragons, Mega Minions, EWIS, everything at that bridge. So as soon as that RG goes down, if he was to play another RG immediately after, Hajime had everything there to shut it down. Already, he wouldn't have to make any extra investment, but we're going to go down into Blizzard versus Hajime.
As these two players, very young players from both sides, Hajime today is showing some next level clash. Blizzard is usually a player who would come up with somewhat of an unusual deck compared to the other members. Loving those bait cycles, lots of motorcycles, and the graveyards that we had before. So put in all the common cards and some uncommon, rare to see CRL decks out there.
These two teams, these two players have never played against each other. Blizzard and Hajime have never met. And in fact, looking at it, the first time round, Line completely swept Fav Gaming in the first half of the season. Then the second half of the season, Geralt almost did it and was finished by Line. So it feels like it's been forever since we have seen Blizzard. We'll see what he can do now.
If Hajime saves that zap. We will see. He whiz with a zap.
Ooh, and it is going to be most likely Goblin Giant Sparky. It could be a regular Giant as well. It depends which variant.
I think it's Giant with the zap here. When will we see the Dark Prince? We'll have a better idea.
It is Goblin Giant. And there's the Mega Minion on top. That's going to help. And a defensive graveyard from Blizzard. I mean, that's all he can really do here. But that Sparky isn't going to go. Eventually goes down. Looked like the Sparky had just done enough to survive with the Goblin Giant Goblins. I think targeting skeletons over that bomb tower for.
So in this matchup, because Blizzard was able to do that big 2 Barbarian swings onto the tower, might actually just keep the lead and try to run away with this.
Well, Poison's definitely going to help that case. If I remember correctly, the Goblin Giant Sparky deck doesn't carry big spells. Tornado.
With a zap? With a zap? I imagine it's just poison. But with the Goblin Giant, it's usually a lot of some lightning if you carry heavy, but it's zap here.
Sparky's going to get nothing done. It is shut down there, and this Goblin Giant isn't going to even get anywhere near the tower. Everything in that push is shut down, and now Blizzard can start an aggressive graveyard. The poison comes down for Blizzard. Extra damage getting done. Mega Minion trying to do what it can. There is the P.E.K.K.A., which means that last card most likely is going to be Rage. So we'll see, can Blizzard hold on? The thing is about this Goblin Giant Sparky deck, if it is the mini P.E.K.K.A. Rage variant, it has those massive explosions where you're behind one gigantic push, and it is going to be lightning.
Still good enough to connect those Goblin Giant directly to the towers, and sometimes you do have to be careful about those Sparky Splash.
Deep for the first time in this match. Blizzard is down in hit points on these towers.
That lightning was the key, as you don't really expect that with pair up along with the zap.
This comes in. Sparky loaded at the back.
Loading Sparky all the way at the back.
Now that's smart. Sending Mini P.E.K.K.A. down the opposite side is going to cause Blizzard to have to split his attention. Bomb tower in the center should be good. That's going to eat a lot of the aggro away from that Goblin Giant. Lightning comes down again, and that Goblin Giant is very healthy. But the Sparky is on its last legs, but it's going to get the splash.
Was going to get the splash if the Sparky got the hit. So 1100 on top, Blizzard is trying to defend to the maximum, but he's getting no graveyard chance because of the Sparky spawning all the way from the back.
Poison comes down.
Only poison.
The Sparky is going to be off the board this time round. which does make this a little bit easier to deal with. And possibly opens the chance for Blizzard to throw down another graveyard. Don't forget, it is triple elixir time right now. Poison comes down. Barbaro comes in. No Sparky this time. It's just the Goblin Giant with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. right behind it. Mega Minion up in the air as well.
Even a zap there. Maybe look for a Mini P.E.K.K.A. chance.
That was sneaky, trying to get that lightning down just to open that window for that connection. But the graveyard comes in. Oh, a couple of hits on the side. Poison's there as well. Is that Barbarian going to make it way
20
through?
seconds.
He is not.
And it's going to be very close. There's that lightning direct damage. Now 590, but the graveyard Mini P.E.K.K.A. is not a good tool against those skeletons. There is a poison. Dark Prince comes down right next to it, so the Barbarian doesn't connect.
It's going to be close. It's going to be really close,
Another
but there is
zap.
still a lightning on Hajime.
Another
If he's
tick.
got it. I don't
3
think he
HP!
does.
And Fav Gaming takes another set off of Talon. Hajime does it again just like yesterday. It is not the set, but King of the Hill after 2v2. With a big lead they will have in this best of 5.
But we've seen them go 2 up before and get taken all the way to a set 5, which happened against Kicks. The interesting thing though, in terms of 1v1 sets, Talon have never won a 1v1 set that hasn't been Blizzard this season. See, it was looking kind of nice for Blizzard. He managed to hold on for almost the longest time.
Yeah, but he can't just have defensive graveyard all the time where he's going to... That's basically putting himself on his own trap by playing defensive graveyard. Then he can only do offensive poison, which gets less value.
Yeah, that barb was so close to getting a hit. It was highlighted there. It made its way through the seas. And unfortunately, it just wasn't good enough. And I mean, Hajime would have had lightning, but he had to defend this graveyard.
I love the placement of the Dark Prince there. Against Barbarian, perfect. Against a few other spawns left and right of that Dark Prince. Good defense.
Yeah, and unfortunately Blizzard goes down. Hajime goes up. We're going to go down to the 1v1 sets where generally both of these teams struggle. Yesterday we saw Fav Gaming kind of collapse with Jack and Expo Master going down 2-0-2-0. But then we look over on Talon. Line is 0-2. 0-4 in game score. Blizzard 0-2. 1-4 in game score.
Ooh,
only Geralt has a win in a best of 3 this season. And I was looking at last season's records here. In 1v1 sets, Line went 0-3. Blizzard went 1-2. So they are going to struggle in these best of 3s if that form from last special season continues into this full season.
Can hurt them a lot. And I think we'll see a lot of appearance of Expo Master now. Expo, Hajime, Jack, those 3 players are the players that we are looking into.
That should be 1-4 for Blizzard, right?
But he just lost 1.
But that was King of the Hill.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. The numbers don't mean anything. What matters is the day they have. I mean, look at that. Hajime 50%. Then you got Jack at 14.3. And Expo Master last season was up at the high 70% in terms of win rate. He's now at 22.2%. What a drop-off, and it is going to be Jack against Geralt.
Expected Geralt. This is what we had in the first matchup of King of the Hill. It's a repeat.
Well, hoping that he sweeps and then continues to dominate everyone, but it doesn't look like he's got that kind of form today. He was shut out last time by Potassium, but in the first King of the Hill today, game 1, Geralt did get the better of Jack. Can he do it 2 more times? That's going to be the question we need to find out.
Jack will be ready against those Ram Riders at least this time. Was taken down.
So yesterday, I think in the 1v1 sets, Jack played 2 RG games. Played Roll Giant with the Cage, Ewiz, Fisher, Lightning, and RG, Fisher, Hunter, Skelly Dragon, Fireball, and ended up losing both of those very handily.
Jack still not being on top of his form yet. And wonder when few more of those Earthquakes are going to come down. Earthquake Cycle Master with any type of source, some RG decks with Earthquake, some Royal Hogs with Earthquake, of course Hog Riders with Earthquake. There are lots of variances around right now.
Yeah, could it be double bait this time around? It's something that I don't think we've seen in quite a few weeks, so it would be a sneaky pickup.
It's quite uncommon.
But it's not impossible. And it would be a deck that Geralt would not be expecting.
And Geralt played Eagolem already once today, so that's gone.
You get 1 per day.
Yes.
All right, so it is going to be Jack in blue at the bottom and Geralt in red at the top. Of the good luck gets thrown out by Geralt. And Jack does not even respond.
Has to focus everything. Every single game counts.
Spear Goblins. Tornado on that. That's Jack essentially just cycling there.
So Spear Goblin may just be talking RG. Ooh, Royal
Royal
Log.
Hogs. And again, Jack with that Tesla.
So Royal Logs likely with the Hunter Fisherman combination from Geralt.
Well, that Brawler gonna get close to the tower. The NATO is gonna cause an activation of that King Tower, which is gonna make the Hog's life a little bit more difficult. They're still not as shut down as it would be, let's say, like Goblin Barrel decks or Graveyards, but it is a bit more difficult for those Hogs to get significant damage in.
Yeah, even with the Tesla, it might be very tough for Jack to find any window now, because I mean, he'll get some chances, but not much because of that Earthquake now.
The Hogs are going to run into that Expo, but the Log only catches the one. The Brawler is going to go down. It did take most of that aggro. And Spear Goblins on the left-hand side getting a few more hits in there, making Geralt's life a little bit easier here. Both towers down just over 2,000, and there is a rocket from Jack, which ties the game up. 2014 as the lowest tower on each side. Expo comes down defensively here.
That's the first setup you need to have. But against Royal Logs, Expo not as powerful.
Yeah, gonna get shut down. The Hunter is gonna take out the Night Hero. It's gonna get pulled away. Tornado into the Ice Whiz, so that's going to stop all that aggression too.
Another great Tornado from Jack. He's loading up a lot of these defensive Expos so that the Hogs don't do any damage first.
Yeah,
trying to push his lead.
The EQ is actually ripping Jack apart here. Geralt choosing the correct spells for the job today.
And keeping the rocket damage on the right. He's keeping the damage up. Another Expo should just on Tesla, expecting that immediate Earthquake from Geralt.
Yeah, Heal Spirit getting a couple of heals in here, but these Hogs shut down in their prime. And no tower connection this time round. Another Expo comes down. Is this the go time? Are these Hogs going to get any damage in? They are not. So they're going to get pulled in by the Tesla, then decide to have a wander over to the Expo. Nothing getting done here. Another EQ does go into the tower though. One Hog. Unfortunately, it was cold bacon. So Geralt just applying the pressure, and 3 of them almost decided that they were having no interest.
It actually gives them a better heal spirit altogether.
A couple of pellets there from the Hunter. That could prove big, but don't forget the rocket is still there for Jack. It does a ton of damage, but we're entering triple elixir time. The heal spirit heals next to nothing. The Hogs completely distracted. Tornado to pull it to the side. Log comes in, cleaning most of that up, but once Hero Spear Goblin survives, the Hogs come in again. Heal Spirit jumps into the skeletons, and that gives a massive heal onto these Hogs. Can they get the connection? The Ice Wizard is trying to slow them down. 991 remaining. The EQs are coming in thick and fast for Geralt because the rocket can outcycle him. There is the first of those rockets down to 1010. There's still over 300 damage difference between the two of them, but the Hogs and the pressure, there is a tornado, a little bit of extra damage onto the tower.
Exactly.
One Hog trying to get through, and it does get another hit on the tower, and every inch, every pixel of damage at this point is super important.
Is there, but the Hogs are going in with the EQ damage, and Geralt might just have done it again in this first game. What a consistent push.
Geralt had to keep that pressure up the whole game. He couldn't allow Jack to build up enough elixir for those rockets, so he kept applying those Royal Hogs. He kept putting down everything. The EQs kept flowing all game long. When it hit triple elixir, I don't think there was a second without an EQ going down.
Yeah, with that EQ, Jack knew that it was going to be a pretty hard matchup for him, as the cycle is just way too quick. 10 earthquakes.
And only 3 expos. I mean, that tells the story when you're an expo player and you only get 3 of those down. Not even getting much defensive value. The Ice Wiz there trying to do what it can. That tornado was...
Yeah. As Jack was always reaching for the limit of... Now with the log change, you have to have the log all the way at the bridge to do the damage to the tower. And plus, he was trying to have some aggressive tornadoes, so it does some more damage, not by much.
Yeah, but the tornado doesn't really accomplish much in that first situation when it pulled the Royal Hogs back. Maybe could have saved a little bit of elixir there to help him push forward, but Geralt put the pressure on. He forced Jack to play his game.
Yeah, if there was a bomb tower, different story totally, but of course this ice bow is with a Tesla.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna fit a bomb tower into an
out-
expo deck? Just
take
take out the
Tesla.
expo. Just take out the expo.
Okay, win with the rocket. That's not a bad idea.
Back when Rocket did way too much damage to towers.
4-3-2. I remember the old number.
All right, so game 2 is soon upon us. Geralt takes game 1 in a huge display of absolute pressure. Can he do it again and take game 2 away from Jack? And that would cause Fav Gaming's alarm bells to be going off because they generally don't win 1v1s. But then again, neither did Talon. So it's all up for debate in this one.
Geralt one more. Should be all good. Fav have a word from production that Fav did ask for a timeout right now, as I think they want to close the match with a 3-0 score potentially.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Fav.
As they still have Expo Master and Hajime. But Geralt still seems to be the best player for Talon so far.
He does indeed, and I mean, that's saying something, but then again, Lion and Blizzard don't perform in best of 3s. All right, what can Jack bring out to completely shock Geralt here? Minor Wall Breakers, too predictable. Hog Rider, EQ, too predictable. Maybe? Looking back, Jack lost the game against KK, but he played Bridge Spam with the Ram Rider, Bandit, Inferno, Lumberjack matchup. Magic Archer. That was way back in the beginning of the season. That might actually be a deck that would catch Geralt off guard.
I think Geralt should know most of the decks Jack has played throughout the season.
I mean, that he only played that one time. He's only played Bridge Spam once this season, Jack. So that might actually be pretty good. Miner comes down from Geralt. Lumberjack is there. Is it going to be Lumberloon? Is it going to be that Bowler Balloon freeze deck we saw yesterday?
Or just Balloon recruits? With the Ice Whiz? Might be talking something else.
Night Witch, Lava Miner for Geralt right now, and there is a P.E.K.K.A. charging down the lane for Jack.
Might be the P.E.K.K.A. Ram Rider.
Charge is a bit of an overstatement of P.E.K.K.A.'s speed. It's trundling down the lane.
Chops everything in one at a time.
There's the Lava Hound from Geralt. That's going to protect the Inferno Dragon this time around. That's going to turn around and take out the Baby Dragon. And Zap is probably not in hand right now, so unable to reset that. So the Ice Whiz has to come out. The Miner's going to be used to assassinate that here. The Inferno Dragon's doing a good job too. And all of this is connecting onto the tower. And Jack kind of freezes in the face of all that potential damage. And it looks as though Geralt is going to take another game here.
I think with the Tornado, Jack wanted some better targeting with the Lava. And the Inferno to be in the Princess Tower range, but the Lava took too much.
I think he got caught between two different ideas and couldn't decide which one to go with. And by the time he actually puts it down, it's far too late.
Can still look for a Balloon here. That's usually the Jack style deck.
So he's got to find a way. This time, I don't think Zap has been used recently. So we'll be able to reset that Inferno Dragon. Fireball comes in.
Oh, what a miss with the Fireball from Jack! Everything's going south right now.
Yeah,
so gives up on the left, gives up on the right, has to load up on the left now. Geralt, knowing that, just gets easy tower down.
Yeah, and how is he going to defend? There is that Balloon finally coming down the cage, is going to help distract that. The Lumberjack is going to be taken out. The Zap, though, stops the Lumberjack, but that Balloon is raged up. It's going to get one. Fireball has to come in, but it's going to get two. Fireball, is it going to get three? Whoa. It does!
Just in time.
Just like that, Jack is back in this one. Geralt let that go where he probably should not have.
Bats are gone, cage is down.
And now we're in this two-tower situation.
And that's a touch.
Now Geralt is collapsing here. I think that caught him very much off
He's going
guard.
for the 3 crown. That's the reason why Jack not falling for it. Loads up a P.E.K.K.A.
The Lumberjack Loon. Is the Balloon going to come down to try and distract the Inferno Dragon and Baby Dragon? It's not. The Barb is going to be there too. Tornado comes in. No Fireball. Baby Dragon's going to do what it can. Zap to reset. And a Miner not going to get into the tower. 8-7-9 against 1-3-2-0. It is King Tower against a Princess Tower here.
Lumberjack pocket. Getting the cage down immediately. No rage. And there it is now being pushed. Fireball.
Doesn't get a drop, but is going to get the death damage in now. Lava Hound played on the opposite side.
Dangerous at the bottom.
I think this might just be tower.
Lots of bats and the baby.
Oh, the P.E.K.K.A. coming just in time, but the Miner to take out the Ice Whiz. The pubs explode. Fireball comes in again here. 4-3-7 against 8-7-6 and has to use what basically accounts for a defensive Balloon here.
Okay, there's 30 seconds. There's a chance. Jack,
Where's
Tornado, Fireball. No defensive Fireball from Geralt. That's a hit. And with the Zap, Jack comes back in this game. Somehow he wins it. knows one push before the overtime on the left. Makes it happen with a perfect stab. Even the defensive firewall was not enough with the perfect lumberjack timing plus the balloon. He steals this. Like, Geralt almost had everything. He gift wrapped it with a perfect paper, put a ribbon on it. He could not stamp it.
That's why going for 3 crowns is always risky, ladies and gentlemen.
This baby dragon actually almost takes the tower, the princess tower down on the left.
Fireball came in, extra damage, 437. So it ended up at 851. The balloon here played very deep. The problem is with that P.E.K.K.A being slightly ahead of the curve, nothing locks on. The tornado there is good, but Geralt has nothing. He tried to get the drag back with the cage, wasn't quick enough against that rage. And this is the thing, when you go diagonals, going for the 3 crown is just
like, if that
dodgy.
baby dragon went towards the king tower, or if he had sent something extra for that princess tower for the second
if he
crown.
played the miner on the opposite side, he sent the miner to attack the ice wizard, right? If he'd have played that on the opposite side, he might have ended up with a slightly different result because the miner would have got a few hits. But when you're playing diagonals, going for that 3 crown is risky because your opponent's defensive troops that are trying to stop your big push are all going to come at the 1 tower you have left.
And I think he could have just pocket lava for the second crown. I think that would have been his second option. But that big load of chunks, along with the somewhat defensive placement of the balloon, I think Jack wanted to carry it through with a tornado.
Well, we said as soon as Geralt had that tower down, we were like, okay. When it gets to 2 towers, if it's a 2-tower game, Jack probably has the advantage. Because I was thinking pocket loons, pocket lumberjacks. We did see the pocket lumberjack come into effect. The balloons getting hits where they should not have got hits. Geralt kind of capitulated after taking that tower. I think he got comfortable. He got too comfortable. And unfortunately, that ended up costing him because he did lose that tower right at the end of regular time.
Near 0 seconds.
Well, game 3 is here. Jack against Geralt. Jack is on match point. If he wins here, it is done. Fav go to Worlds for a 2nd time in a row. And also, Talon will go down to that loser's bracket.
Right. See the wall breakers, so no big issues. Big thing will be will it be the E-Wiz? Very likely in this meta, or some musketeer along with the wall breaker miner. Looks like 3.0 wall breaker.
Bomb tower is going to make life a little bit easier for Geralt against these wall breakers. He's going to have to find a way to just stemmy those miners coming in. G-Clef, I see you looking. What are you thinking here?
Actually, might be the off version. So another graveyard with an Inferno is what I'm thinking from Geralt.
His graveyard comes down, and those Teslas are proving to be Jack's savior in some of these games. It just stops so much damage from coming through because they deal an absolute ton. One wall breaker gets a connection on that right side.
With Delivery Poison 3.0 will very, very quick cycle. Even if you are getting the wall breakers down, the miner will certainly be getting few hits at a time. Geralt okay, totally okay with the weight. He's looking for the double, he's looking for the triple.
He was played at the back. That's going to start resetting things here, but expect a graveyard to come in. No, not this time. Oh, coming in a little bit late. Poisons from both sides, and that's a go sign for a wall breaker from Jack. Is dealt with by Geralt. A couple more hits coming through into that tower. 2082. at the end of that poison graveyard push.
Tesla being a wonderful tool. This time not the wall breakers, just sending the skeletons. Putting some mind games against Geralt, trying to save a few more elixirs.
It's not just save elixir, it's also force elixir out of Geralt's hand, which can come into massive effect here. Another graveyard poison comes down for Geralt. Is he going to get many hits through here, or is it just going to be poison damage? Looks like RNG was not in Geralt's favor there, as nearly everything died to the poison. And one wall breaker again connects on the right-hand side.
Ooh. Draws out an Ewiz on the left, then the wall breakers on the right. Geralt might have to put down a few more bomb tower.
Well, he's got to do something here because Jack is getting the better of him as we enter the last 1 minute and 40 seconds.
So every time Geralt puts down the bomb tower, he will be losing an elixir trade. So that's the reason why he has been really using that power too much in this matchup.
So the miner comes in. Inferno Dragon's going to help try and take that, but not before taking quite a few hits in here. He's going to have to go for the graveyard. Geralt goes on the right. There is a bar barrel there as well. Poison is down from Jack. Is the RNG going to help Geralt here? 1 hit, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4 hits there. 1630 on that tower. But look at the amount of hit points that top left-hand tower has on the side of Geralt. It's just crumbling here.
Has to drop another delivery for Jack. Doesn't allow any further push.
So 50 seconds left. Geralt needs a massive graveyard to come in. Decides to go with the poison, saving that graveyard.
Yeah, offensive poison this time, as there was no graveyard from Geralt, and the Ewiz taking care of the Inferno without the drag into the Tesla.
Yep. Miner comes through again. Is there going to be a graveyard down against that Tesla? No, there is not. There it is. It's real late. Wall breakers again. Poison comes down. The miner didn't do enough damage.
Oh, and this is it. Bob, they're going to Worlds.
They are indeed. 56 remains on that tower. Jack just needs to finish it with a poison. And Fav Gaming take the third spot in Worlds through the winners bracket. They are going to be playing against Nova Esports in the next round. But more importantly, I would say, is booking that plane ticket to Worlds.
Did not even see Expo Master today.
Didn't even see Ken Sameshi either.
Didn't even see, did see Kitasha in 2v2 and also King of the Hill. But yes, Geralt going down. I imagine Talon didn't really... After yesterday's results, I don't think Talon imagined Geralt to be down or the team to be down 3-0. They expected at least a few more sets to be in play. But Jack finally bringing some playoff results.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like this was just not the matchup Geralt wanted. Graveyard was shut down every time by Jack, and even when it wasn't shut down by a... Geralt never got those lucky hits in. They always seem to spawn on the thick side of the tower, not the thin side.
Also, even with some RNG, I think Jack handled it because of delivery, which is another great tool to block the bridge, stop the Knight, or even the Inferno. So a whole lot of damage. And eventually with the cycle, Jack was winning totally. MVP material wins the 2v2, and also the set 3. Jack is the MVP for the team.
Yeah, and we will be back after a short break with WEDGM going up against Talon. Losers bracket match. Loser will be going home. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, to a rematch of yesterday. Talon against WEDGM. Fav Gaming have booked their ticket into the next round. They will face Nova next week. Now we get to see who's going to face Ponos Esports. Talon or WEDGM. Based off yesterday's performance between these two teams, Talon have zero chance of losing because WEDGM did not even show up in that first game yesterday. But the game 2 they played, WEDGM against Kicks, there was this huge rallying cry by Solomon, by Hire, to get everyone back in this match. They ended up beating Kicks in what can only be described as one of the longest and most stressful series of Clash Royale I have ever casted because I am a Kicks fan and we lost, but still, WEDGM made it through. How tired are they going to be coming into this game against Talon?
But they got almost a day off after the match. Talon just is playing a back-to-back best of 5. Of course, they did lose 3-0, which was rather quick, sort of like yesterday how they won against WEDGM. But WEDGM, they have watched the first match, said, okay, Geralt has weaknesses all over his face. Like, we've seen it just now. I think it can be doable for WEDGM. I think it all depends on the prep that WEDGM did and how well can Talon recover within this maybe 7-8 minutes that we just had.
And also probably not putting Wonga out at
in
all.
1v1
At all.
or King of the Hill.
No, just leave him out of it.
Just Peas?
Just leave him out of it.
Peas Radish?
Yeah. Wonga, I mean, Wonga only recently, I keep talking about this 0 wins club, but I mean, he only just recently escaped it and then went 0-2. Why do they trust him? Like, I don't think he's the type of player who can come in to this match
and save
turn things around. Yeah. If you're going to put him in first in King of the Hill. Don't give him a 1v1 matchup.
The greed position?
Yeah, exactly. The greed position. Someone to be a buffer for the two that play in that 2v2 set. Well, the 2v2 set is going to be up first. We can see that Talon is not up there anymore. Lion and 1 crown most likely coming from them.
And to see Solomon Hire with Hera, of course, as the referee. No other great pair for the team. It's just Solomon Hire, just like Lion and 1 crown.
I mean, they did play Wonga and Radish together one time. They did get a win over AUK and Elsiop, who very rarely lose.
Wants to beat someone else than 1 crown from Talon?
It has to be Lion and 1 crown. It has to be. Okay, Lion and 1 crown in here again. I think they will be kind of comfortable with the way that things went yesterday. Today against Fav, they got baited in that last game. Let's be real. That was a full-on bait.
Full-on bait, 100% snipe. I know exactly what they're talking about right now. So what else do we have other than X-Vote X and 2v2? Like, oh, we have practiced this one about 7 weeks ago. Oh yeah, that's also pretty good.
The bans are gonna be Freeze and Tornado.
So we can have a few more decks now. A lot more Mino possible. Baits are possible. Some more charges are totally possible.
Giant Skeleton.
Yes.
Royal Giant.
RG Graveyard. So with the freeze ban, we see a lot more graveyard combined with some other win condition like the balloon, RG, sometimes even some charges from the ram. With Tornado, I think the Ram Rider is has a lot of advantages going into the game.
But with Giant Skeleton in, it can be difficult for that Ram Rider to break through the congestion in the lane.
They bring Lightning to get the building down.
We'll see what happens in this one. And it is Goblin Barrel straight off the bat and logged out instantly.
I think we'll have Clone today.
Not a bad shout. I think that might be the trick that Talon are hoping to play here. A couple of hits in from these skeletons here. 2,400 left on that. The Hunter is going to take quite a bit of hits here. There is that Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant combination we see so often.
Inferno right on the poison. This RG is actually pretty healthy.
Yeah, but it is slowed down massively by that Fisher Hook. And that Goblin Barrel actually got quite a few, got a chunk in there.
Yeah. 1 stabs each, about 300, a little more than 300.
Nice log with the delivery there to delete the Musketeer, and this RG still only gets 1 shot. Now there is a Valkyrie, a Recruit, and that Skeleton Barrel coming down on the right-hand side.
So it'll be hard to defend perfectly for both sides.
And it is sneaking
Ooh,
through
the Valkyrie,
on that right.
second swing.
And instantly trying to capitalize on that. And it has to be Firebolt. Look at the elixir of WEDGM right now. They are spent. And then you look at like
4 shots,
Lions.
400.
Look at Lions' elixir compared. He's still in the lead, even though he played that Dark Goblin there. He still has more elixir than everyone else in this match.
Double bait.
Okay, this Hunter's gonna clean that up perfectly.
Easily, and they have log, and let's see delivery come down from Talon. So
there is that Giant Skeleton RG push again. EQ is going to be there, but the delivery comes in. Heal Spirit gets a heal on that RG. Dark Goblin and Musketeer trying to take it out, and does so, but 1 hit does sneak through.
Still 1 shot, doesn't take out the Musketeer, and there's a pretty good log. So the Valkyrie and the Musketeer taken care of easily, but the fireball damage. And Talon is looking to put this one down with this remaining spell damage only.
Yeah, another RG Giant Skeleton. The Inferno Dragon, the Inferno Tower is there. The Goblin Barrel will take out that bottom right-hand tower. The EQ is trying to do what it can.
Fisherman pulls it back to the WEDGM side, pulling it out of range.
Yeah, the Fisherman in that little spot there was very, very nice. And it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. The Inferno Tower does come down. The Giant Skeleton is pulled back with the Musketeer. And just like that, Lion and One Crown take another victory against WEDGM. And they made that look far too easy.
Yesterday, Giant Skeleton and Royal Giant combination had massive wins. Some with Poison, some with Earthquake. But Talon, understanding with the Tornado what they can do, Double Bait is one of the best 2v2 decks out there.
But it is one that can be shut down relatively easily if they can build that pressure too much. But the Inferno Tower was a great choice, a great tool that was made by Talon, which took that Giant Skeleton off the board without sacrificing anything at the bridge. They had Mega Knight, they never played it.
They didn't have to. As WEDGM also had Cage available, but in this sort of a scenario against those skeletons, it's not the best tool. Against Valkyrie, there were some chances, but overall Bomb Tower is just better.
Yeah, look at the elixir right now. Look how much elixir WEDGM have. Nothing.
Yeah, that Fisherman pull from WEDGM at least sort of makes that happen.
If in doubt, put a Fisherman in your opponent's territory if you got a tower down against RG, because nobody expects it. Nobody thinks like, okay, not only do I have to protect the front side of the RG now against Fisherman, I now have to protect the back side of him, and I have to protect the sides in case they chuck something here. It makes it really hard for the RG to get down once that tower is down and your opponent has Fisherman. But that game is done. Solomon and Higher, what do you do to come back here mentally? Because this is a 2v2 pairing that had your number completely yesterday and seemed to have your number again right now.
So just go for your own double bait. And I think WEDGM, if they bring their own bait, Talon might actually be caught. I don't remember WEDGM using that many double bait.
But that's the issue. WEDGM don't really play the double bait, so they haven't got much competitive practice with it. So bringing it here could be a risk, as they're not really comfortable with that deck. Most of the season, they've played Giant Skeleton, RG.
Lots and tons of RG throughout the season.
is that coming back to bite them now? They haven't had enough practice with other types of 2v2 decks. Maybe Graveyard, but again, double Graveyard has fallen out of favor.
How about Expo from WEDGM this time?
That would be something I cannot comprehend. If it comes out here, I will be completely mind blown.
I have a news, Simon.
Uh-oh.
Timeout called by Talon.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that like WEDGM are confirmed to be playing double Expo, and my brain would just explode all over the nice background we have.
We do have a nice background. It's not CG, guys.
Don't look too closely, though.
It's not CG, guys, but great Photoshop work there.
All right, so Solomon and Higher are facing defeat again at the hands of Line and One Crown, who have that game 1 advantage. Double Bait was the victor over that Giant Skeleton Royal Giant combination that we see all the time. The Inferno Tower, nice choice. I think that was the smartest choice against that deck. What are they going to bring here? If you're looking on the screen, you can see the match has already been requested there. I guess they're waiting for the go sign.
Yes. All the players seem pretty well. For the go sign, let's see what Solomon Higher brings this time, though. I'm thinking Graveyard combination. Maybe just one Graveyard, one RG.
Will we hear that clicking sound? No, we're not. I thought it was going to be Expo, but log comes out.
Double log.
Again, remember.
And lava now.
Freeze, Tornado are your bans, and the Ewiz decides to wander down the right-hand side. What are they
I think that's a mistake.
front?
Solomon looked at Higher. Or is it not?
Well, I think this might just be an impromptu push because there isn't really anything there. Lightning comes down. And the Hunter is going to just completely chunk at that Inferno Dragon, then chunk at that Lava Hound. If it was a mistake, it was handled pretty well there by WEDGM.
Again, Jet. Skeleton. RG even better with Valkyrie Mini P.E.K.K.A this time.
Yeah, and that's going to get one shot. That is all it's going to get.
Better use, bring double log, you better use double log. Keeps Hunter alive for one more shot. Makes it easier defense against the Valkyrie. So Talon, it seems like they're staying mostly with the lava in the air, but they do have solid ground defense. They have Valkyrie against the potential Graveyard, which I don't think WEDGM has brought at all. They also have Mini P.E.K.K.A against the RG and the Giant Skeleton, plus the Cage.
And Lightning. So they have a lot of tools just to create difficulties for this Giant Skeleton Royal Giant push. But what are they going to do here? Elixir is sparse. 5 on One Crown, 2 on Line. Lightning comes down. The RG is going to get a few hits in. Heal Spirit is good. That Mega Minion is going to come across, but the Inferno Dragon is going to be eating away at that E-Wiz Orc. So the Miner has to come in to try and take it off the board. It does. Bomb Tower is there to take out that, but that is a lot of stuff on the tower. The Inferno Dragon is there. That tower is not long for this world as Talon take another commanding lead in 2v2 against Solomon and Higher.
Oh, Giant Skeleton again, but Inferno's already there. You gotta take that out. It's doing way too much work.
Yeah, it is, and that RG not even healed up.
Connects, but Inferno way too much damage with the Mega Minion now. Talon, they just have to hold the lead. They're actually pressuring onto the tower.
Yeah, but what was interesting, that Fisherman play by Talon kind of delayed that RG Giant Skeleton push because WEDGM had to wait for it to lock into the tower before they could play the RG Giant Skeleton. That slows down their push. You're on the last 10 seconds. You have to go, go, go. They couldn't because of that Fisherman. Smart play right there.
Is this beginning of the end for WEDGM? 2 straight wins for Talon in 2v2. Especially the second game was very, very clean. Expecting there's always a chance of more Giant Skeletons and more RGs coming down from WEDGM's side.
And it was double lava hound, but One Crown never had to feel the need to put it down.
Yes, instead he had the lightning, so that was a perfect choice. Defensive lightning against the RG Giant Skeleton.
And this was just overwhelming pressure here. The heal spirit even gets the heal back up. The bomb tower tries to do what it can after it's dead with that death damage, but not enough.
I think the cage could have came down to catch that Inferno instead of the Princess Tower, but even with that catch, it was going to be down to maybe 1,000, even lower than 1,000 HP with that big lead already. I think Talon was going to steal the game. So Giant Skeleton, RG, as it happened so many times in 2v2 yesterday, I think all teams are ready for that deck from your opponent.
I mean, it has always been a staple of 2v2. We've seen it since the days of CRL Asia. We've seen it since the dawn of 2v2 competitive, basically, in the East. I know in the West it was still kind of janky at the time where RG Giant Skeleton came into East and Asia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, you know, West kind of looked at that and went, there's actual strategies in 2v2, and then from there, together, East and West have built 2v2 meta to what it is today, which is still RG, Giant Skeleton, but now we have a couple of other decks. Because I remember when it was all double golems, man. Anyway, King of the Hill is coming up. Now, if it's a repeat of yesterday, Geralt is going to go on an absolute tear through the WEDGM roster. But he came out once already today against Fav and couldn't get that sweep. So what is he going to do here? Hire is first out, and it is going to be Geralt again.
I like Hire first up for WEDGM, expecting Geralt to play the first game that has always been, always throughout the season for Talon.
Yeah, it was Peas out first yesterday, and then it was Hire, then Solomon. So hopefully Hire can be the one to start the comeback here for WEDGM, because Talon have started this the way they started yesterday, which is just dominating that 2v2 set.
Geralt did lose to Jack, but still, in terms of his play today, he came close for many games. In the final game he lost, he just lost in track with the cycle against those Inferno and Lava. We see hopefully a lot of Lavas in 2v2s and 1v1s today.
We see it again here. I don't know if Geralt is one to play Lava Hound against Hire.
Yeah. Konos and Fav, they do tend to play a lot more. The Japanese side plays a lot more lava compared to the other regions. Like China doesn't play as much lava, Korea doesn't play as much lava.
He did play Minor League yesterday with the Giant Skeleton and Ice Wizard against Peas, but that felt more like a snipey kind of deck. Against Hire, he did play the Royal Giant with the Ewiz and the Fisherman, with the Barb Hut being the building there, so a heavier cycle on that one.
Also Hire's Wallbreaker deck seemed to be working out very well yesterday. But here we go with Geralt on top in red Talon. WEDGM's Hire at the bottom in blue. It's King of the Hill time.
Set to game one. And we have a standoff here in this one. Will we be waiting for double elixir time?
Who's going to draw first?
It is Hire. And it does look, with that Barb Hut from Geralt,
okay,
I am thinking it is going to be the RG again, but it could be a switch up here.
Yeah, Hire can also have RG with the Fisherman combo. Fisherman Hunter with the Spear Goblin. Probably Delivery EQ with the Heal Spirit now. And Geralt with the Baby Dragon.
Hire there leaking a little bit of elixir. Not quite deciding what he wants to do at that exact moment because Geralt still hasn't really shown his hand all too much. There it is. Yep. The RG is there. The Ewiz behind is going to slow that Hunter, but the RG is going to get one shot in. Is it going to be two? It is just about. The Heal Spirit makes that so, but the Barbarian as well gets into the tower. The Fisherman tried to pull it across, but is now stunned with that Ewiz. 1867, and Geralt draws first blood here in this King of the Hill match.
Yeah, 3.9 with the Fireball is the RG deck that Geralt has brought. Higher still waiting for his own RG timing, as that Hunter did fall down pretty easily. Not really have a chance to use delivery if he had it in his hand.
Well, Goblin Brawler does make it over the bridge. RG played at the back for Geralt. Gonna build this one nice and slow. How is Higher going to respond? The Fisherman is already pretty high.
Still be Royal Hogs with the exact same deck from Higher.
Okay, RG's gonna get pulled up. Hunter is there. The Barb Barrel and trying to separate the Hunter. It does manage to do so. One hit, two hits from that RG. And that is Hire's goal sign. He has to get something done. That Bob Hut is still healthy. The EQ, though, is going to chunk at that. 2 hits into that tower, 1 into the Princess Tower. 1601 against 1359.
Well, counter push just way stronger with the cage. Already popping Heal Spirit, putting it back 100% back. But RG hitting on the left tower now, so that's good enough for Geralt.
Yeah, and the Hunter is sticking on that right-hand side. So it is going to get quite a lot of chunking in here, but it is taken down.
Higher might just be looking towards near perfect defense and a few more Earthquake cycle to win the game. His Royal Giant has not been really putting too much. 1 was the maximum.
Those EQs we know just deal so much damage. The Fireball does come down from Geralt.
Brings RG, almost brings the RG in.
Does there. Hunter is going to take care of that. One shot comes in. Barb Barrel comes in as well. And that RG, how is it still alive in all of that? It doesn't get a shot, I think. And yeah, shut down.
Back up with the heal. Yeah, Higher has to be good. Did spend a lot of elixirs in defense though. If he wants to keep on that EQ cycle, gotta be cheaper.
Now, that RG is protected enough. Heal comes in, 1 shot. Is it gonna be 2? No, Fisherman does pull it away just in time. Second shot was gonna be there. And again, Higher leaking elixir. He is unsure where to go here.
Even that Heal Spirit doing some damage. That Fireball did connect into that hut, so that does help Higher putting that down. Geralt looking for another opportunity. Here comes. He was actually in the front this time.
Yeah, it's going to slow down, but that Fisherman is going to pull the RG this time. So no. Oh, it almost turned around completely going to that right-hand side. 588 remains there. So it is very, very close. Geralt could lose it in the last second. 1 EQ can separate these two. There is the EQ.
RG pushing.
Needs the RG hit,
There's
though.
a Fireball.
It's close. Oh, the Ewiz
stops it. I think Higher's, without the Ewiz, Higher's RG was about to get a shot in.
It was. That Ewiz.
Then the projectile's fast enough, the damage was going to go in.
It was. That Ewiz was clutch. Oh man, that Ewiz was absolutely
Geralt has like one of the best
Geralt.
finishes.
He always wants to give people heart attacks for sure. I think he has a bet as to like how many heart attacks he can cause the team to have. Geralt taking down Higher, who generally is one of the stronger 1v1 players of this WEDGM side. And I mean, it was a game of inches here. 679 against 1193 at 45 seconds left, and it comes down to about 20 difference between the two with the EQ Fireballs coming in. Right, this is the moment.
We need to slow this down.
There's the EQ, the RG's pushing against each other, the Ewiz of gets back to another one, right? Right there.
Yes.
That E-Wiz saved the game for Geralt. If it wasn't for that, that shot would have come through.
I think it would have locked or at least fired. Maybe it doesn't actually go in.
I think
but
it would have.
But the traveling time is super fast.
I think it would have. I think without that E-Wiz, it would have got the hit.
We see some spells or projectiles like disappear before it reaches the tower at 0. I think it was going to be close. Maybe actual hit.
And if it wasn't, it is just for the added drama. Okay, game 2. Who is Geralt going against this time? We'll find out. It is
Wonga.
Wonga. Okay, so Wonga against Geralt here. Can he be the one to stop the fall? Stop the repeat of yesterday's performance? So just taking a look, Wonga's sheet, he has only won 2 in King of the Hill, and that was against Nova, where he beat Rain and CRS. Before that, he was 7-0. Now he is 2-8 in King of the Hill.
Yes. Wonga certainly needs to find more meaning into being this much into the roster. But, again today, bench is clearly not happy about how things are going right now. But again today, and especially against WEDGM, like Geralt is popping off.
He is. He's doing it again, and I think for Talon, they're like, we can't be swept away again by Talon. We just saw Fav Gaming, like, walk through Talon. Are Talon that much better than we are? It's hard to say. Like, first half of the season, Talon were really, really good, and they're here because of that first half of the season performance. Their second half of the season, they had 2 wins. You know who those 2 wins were against, G-Clef? For Talon? It was against WEDGM and Fav Gaming.
Okay.
That was their 2 wins in the second half of the season. WEDGM,
they got good
Fav.
wins.
And then you look at WEDGM, who had 5 wins in the second half of the season. Their 2 losses, Ponos, Talon. They're basically the opposite team, but WEDGM had the better run of form coming into these playoffs. They were 5-2 in the second half of the season, whereas Talon was 2-5. But it seems that Talon just has their number. They just know how to beat. And I say Talon, it just seems to be Geralt. He only likes to come and play against WEDGM, where he just shatters everything that WEDGM throw out. Can he do it again here and go? Hold on, I worked it out. 8-0. He's currently 9-0, so he'll go 10-0 against WEDGM in the last 2 weeks.
Someone's on fire today with the numbers.
If he wins here, he will be 10-0 against WEDGM in the last 2 weeks. 10-0 against one team.
Well, WEDGM's gonna be gone if they lose, and Wonga better have brought something special against Geralt. So far, Spear Goblins. And do we go back to Mortar? Or is it just going to be the regular Spear Goblins with Hunter Cage and RG?
Okay, just to throw it out there, Geralt and Wonga have played each other 3 times. One in the 1v1 yesterday. They also played in the King of the Hill twice. And as we know...
In round 1 and round 2?
Yeah, as we know, Wonga was part of the 0-7 club. So Geralt got 2 wins against him there. Can he repeat it here? RG played for Wonga on the right-hand side. Geralt should have plenty to defend this. Q comes down again. Big heal on that RG, though, and the Fisherman trying to pull away the barbs. A couple of hits, 18-22 on that tower.
Not enough elixirs for a graveyard from Geralt.
But Mega Minion, 1.
Actually
2. Who needs graveyards?
Yeah, Wonga doesn't sacrifice the Spear Goblins. Willing to take that much damage?
And then they just die like that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think if you put them forward, it would have been even worse, because that Mega Minion would have had another swipe or 2 without that Spear Goblin damage.
Maybe. But I was expecting at least to get one less. Putting on the side. Now RG on the left. Still gets dragged, of course. And the E-Wiz comes down from Geralt.
Slowing it down enough where I don't think it's going to turn around and get a hit into the tower, especially with these barbs coming out. And now, that's 4 barbs and an E-Wiz coming down your left-hand side. What do you have to answer that? A fireball. Still takes a hit from the E-Wiz.
Big Electrons. 4.0. Final 2 cards, Graveyard Poison, of course, for Geralt. Oh, Wango have Musketeer.
Does, and there's no Graveyard coming down again. I feel like Geralt is like, I don't even need to play it right now. My Poison,
He knew that Spear Goblins were coming down, so Poison only takes care of Brawler, Musketeer.
Oh, I thought the Brawler was going to get the heal and survive there.
Yeah, Wango needs to cycle through a lot of EQs against these Barb Hut. And make his sort of control the push of Geralt.
RG played on the left as that Barb Hut is about to expire. No Graveyard still. Fireball comes in. That Graveyard is very late, but still pretty good. Spear Goblins played at the back to defend, and that's going to be a perfect defense here. But the Mega Minion, 2 barbs on that left-hand side are just going to be a nuisance here for that Musketeer.
There's some more on the left. Had to defend it, or else the left tower goes below 15-16. The cycle with the EQ as Wango is looking to push. Did push towards the left, and with the cage, maybe another RG towards the left again.
Wanga has taken a very narrow advantage. 112 separate the two players at this point. Poison comes down on the right, RG goes left, and there's no Barb Hut to distract. It has to be very forward, and that's not what you want to do with a Barb Hut. It is a very, very expensive building, and that RG gets 1 shot more in here.
Puts them about as even as Wango can switch on to the right exactly with the Fisherman pull without the E-Wiz.
No Barb Hut for the distraction, so it's going to get 1, it's going to get 2, 906. Wanga may have finally defeated his demons, and maybe he will be able to get the win here against the monster that has been playoff Geralt. RG again here. There is nothing. Barb Hut has to be played high. There is no chance for a Graveyard yet.
And a pretty good fireball, but does not really hit
this
too
might
many.
actually just overwhelm. Wanga only has 5 elixir. The cage has to come down. He is out of elixir right now. The Spear Goblin's played right at the back. And unfortunately, the poison isn't going to be good enough for Geralt to take those Spear Goblins out. But 20 seconds remain. Maybe he can just keep loading these up, put the pressure on at the front, and that's exactly what Geralt is going to do. There are 20 seconds. That is a very good poison this time around. It is going to capture a couple of Spear Goblins and give the lead.
Good spells, good spawns from Skeletons, but the Barb Hut is there. RG's locked up. EQ's doing some damage.
7,
Wango in
3,
the lead.
4, fireball!
No poison coming down for Geralt. That's a win for WEDGM finally in this playoff match.
And Wanga has defeated his demon. Geralt has had the better of him all season long. Ooh. Twice in the King of the Hill regular season, twice yesterday. And now Wanga stands tall. He gets the win.
Simon with the fireball. I thought that was it. The fireball only hitting the Barbarians and the Mega Minion, where he could have waited maybe for an extra second to hit the Knights or even the E-Wiz. I thought the game was over at that moment. But Wanga still pulls out an amazing defense. Musketeer towards the left top corner and Spear Goblins on the right, so you can't have poison on both.
It essentially came down to Geralt defending those RGs with a Barb Hut in their face.
Look how far away the Musketeer and the Spear Goblins are all the time.
But I feel like it would have been better to take the Spear Goblins out more than that.
Yeah, because it takes care of most of the skeletons.
And I feel at that point, Geralt knew it was over. I mean, the fireball was flying over. The EQ has proved to be a very valuable tool this weekend. We've seen it a lot more than usual. And it seems that teams finally have realized that its potential is there, even if you're not going against a building deck.
It's crazy because, okay, EQ, we knew it was good ever since the other spell nerfs.
Yeah.
But it's been used with the Hog Rider specifically, and not much with anything else other than some Ram decks out there, maybe some Hogs, but now it's like actually in with the Hog deck, with these RG decks that's been used everywhere.
Yeah, and it's becoming more and more of a damage cycle card because it doesn't matter if your opponent doesn't have a building. EQ is still 200 plus damage into a tower. 200 plus, 200. But it's still plus over 200, you know? It is going to be Wonga against Line game 3 here.
No surprise, as Lion Blizzard, that's what we expect from Talon. But Lion might be surprised that Wonga is his opponent.
I mean, Lion might be surprised that he's had to come up at all in this King of the Hill based on yesterday's performance, but we know what Lion is capable of. He is capable of absolute destruction. Can he do it today?
EQ seems to be the winning spell of the day. Don't think I'm missing anything else. There's some EQ delivery combination with the RG, EQ Fireball, and Royal Hogs, and that's about it.
But the thing is, it can fit into so many decks.
Oh, and some cannon cards. Oh yes, those were
the days, my friend. Do you think there will come a time where EQ replaces Poison in graveyard decks?
If EQ gets 7 ticks, yes.
If it gets one more tick, yes, I feel. All right, we're going to go into this one. It is Wonga versus Line, and Line starts us off instantly with those wall breakers at the river.
Let's see if it's wall breakers with the Valkyrie or the Knight. Some Ice Whiz variant there. Spear Goblins instead of the Skeleton or the Goblins.
Miner comes in. Fisherman is going to be there, but it's distracted by the Spear Goblin, which allows this Miner to get a couple of cheeky hits in.
Wonga, we're looking into either Royal Hogs or RG. There's Royal Hogs already, okay.
Bomb Tower Log is going to help just annihilate those Hoggies, but almost getting through. A Knight, Spear Goblins. Always one of those combinations that you don't really want to have to deal with because you feel like you're wasting Elixir. Even though it's an even trade, Logs for Spear Goblins, it's just so rough.
Spear Goblins. Weak enough that you don't want to do anything and just take a few spear shots.
But strong enough that you have to deal with them.
They're significant.
They're an awkward card. And Miner turns around and still gets a couple of extra hits into 174 there. Fisherman didn't pull it far enough to retarget.
In line with again pick cycle. Trying to do some log damage. Even the Musketeer caught there.
Yeah, catching the Musketeer kind of hurts Line a little bit. Bomb Tower comes in. It's going to get dealt with nice and easy.
This is a problem where the Hogs are... Unless you have an extra for Fireball on that bomb tower, the Hogs are not going to make it into the tower.
Unless Wonga can find a way to get the Hogs down when the bomb tower is out of cycle. How could he engineer that with what he has? There isn't much. Fireball comes in, but it only catches the Knight, doesn't hit the bomb tower here. But those Hogs are actually still real healthy. That's a surprise. They split kind of weirdly around that bomb tower, and that was a very nice positioning of his Royal Hogs to cause that to happen. We talk about engineering these little advantages, and that was perfectly engineered.
Still the Miner is doing work. Line keeps it to about even. Less than 60 difference in hit points.
right here. Now there is a window for these Royal Hogs to get damage in. They're going to have to be fireballed out, but there is a Heal Spirit there. Musketeer, though, makes sure that those Royal Hogs are cleaned up before the Heal Spirit can pop.
But Wanga is able to put extra offensive fireball when Line has to use a defensive fireball here. That's going to be the big difference. So the miner has to get the maximum damage.
Does not. Fisherman is there to pull it out of the way. A log completely whiffing everything.
Just hits the tower.
Yeah, that's all you need. Fireball comes in as well.
This will be close.
It's going to be another photo finish, and it isn't. Can Wanga actually sweep away Talon after yesterday? Musketeer here cleans up those Hogs. Miner gets another couple of hits in. It's 994 against now 802.
Keeps it down to about as even, just a fireball away for Line. But he's got to keep his defensive fireball. There's the bomb tower this time. Wall breakers. No cage.
Get a connection. Oh, that's big at this point. 3-A-1. The miner's going to come in the back. Luckily, the Musketeer does manage to catch it. So 3-A-1 there. Bomb tower is back again. How awkward is this positioning going to be? Not that awkward. It's going to deal with that quite nicely. Fisherman comes in, making it easy pickings for that knight. The miner doesn't get the connection it needs, but there's quite a few bodies coming over. There's a fireball.
Oh, takes care of everything. Just a single fireball away for Line. As the Hogs logged away, bomb tower is still pretty healthy. I think that's it. Wanga will lose. Fall down against Line. And we go into the final player of WEDGM. Very likely going to be Solomon.
Wanga did what he needed to do. He engineered a way to get those Royal Hogs through. He made it so that he could get the damage in. But Line was just too good. He knew what he had to do. He knew what he had to keep. He knew that he could kind of bait out those Royal Hogs by putting in the bomb tower, waiting until it dies, making sure he has the fireball back in hand to easily do it. But Line did get kind of lucky with those wall breakers. These ones right here.
No, this was exactly the timing that he does not have enough. He's going to put down Fisherman against the miner, and when that comes, not going to be enough for the cage. Those wall breaker poking timing from Line was just perfect there.
You can see Wanga looks very disappointed. He cannot be the hero for the team today. But it is going to be Solomon. And this is a man that we know can come out and absolutely shatter expectations.
As he did have a massive day yesterday against Kicks. Will he be the hero of the team again? It's hard to pull it out twice.
It is, but if anyone can do it, it is him. He did play, the last two games he played yesterday was Mega Knight Graveyard and Mega Knight Blue. And yeah, it kind of looked like the same deck, and then it was a last-minute switch from Graveyard to Balloon. Will he be able to pull something like that off against Line, and then something like that off against what we can only assume will be Blizzard?
Yeah, there's few Mega Knight decks out there. And the biggest three I can count is that Balloon that you just talked about. Second would be Ram, and another with the Graveyard. Heavier Graveyard with close to like 3.9, 4.1. So it's actually not hard to guess.
There is that older deck that was Mega Knight Hog Ride. Royal Hogs. Mega Knight Royal Hogs.
Mega Knight Royal Hogs and some Mega Knight RG.
But they have fallen out of favor a lot compared to the other variants now with the Ram Rider, Balloon, Graveyard. So if we see it, it will be kind of tricky, I would say, because you're not going to expect those kind of decks, which might be why they would be powerful. You bring in a deck that was popular, let's say 6 months ago, and it might catch your opponent off guard.
It's always, that has been one good tool that Fab has been doing a lot in the regular season. bringing those old Pekka decks that we just have seen from Jack, that Pekka Balloon. Those classic decks that has always worked somewhere in the meta.
Well, what is going to happen in this one?
Okay, I think that's an Expo sign.
What's the Expo sign? The fan in the background? That's what it takes to get an Expo game out of line?
Just having a wild guess, okay? And I think that's also the reason why Wanga brought Royal Hogs. Lion is the player who used the most amount of Expo during the regular season.
So we'll see what is upon us. WED GM Solomon fighting for his team's life here in this King of the Hill. Can he bring home the bacon against Lion, who is looking to seal out a 2-0 advantage coming into the last set today? And that Magic Archer, 1, 2, 3 hits through there. Not the start that Solomon would have wanted.
I think that's sweet enough for a line to begin. 201.
I mean, Magic Archer getting that much value is always tasty. Has to cycle the Mega Minion in the back, so it is looking like possibly the Mega Knight on the side of Solomon.
With the recruit,
With the bowler. Okay, he's going bowler. Is it going to be bowler graveyard, bowler loon?
Magic Archer expecting Royal Hogs. Always a chance with some Ram Rider.
There it is, Royal Hogs coming down the left-hand side. The Bar Barrel tries to do what it can, but these Hogs are going to get in and around that tower. Damage is coming through. How much is it going to do? 2003 right there.
531 done on the bottom left. And the bowler not having that much of a defensive tool against the Royal Hogs. It would be great. You have to guess, sort of guess right. Lion would be playing the Royal Hog after the bowler. So either Solomon keeps that card to in his hand forever, or draws the cage near to the bowler range so that the Hogs are being damaged by that bowl.
So that should be the go time for Lion to play those Royal Hogs this time on the right-hand side. That is why he has the 4 Royal Recruits going down that side. More bodies for that. 2 green guys are going to punch each other out on that left-hand side. Lightning comes down
against the recruit.
I think he was expecting the Hogs to come down very early there.
I think he was also expecting to at least get Magic Archer.
Yeah, not what you want to do here. You see recruits played at the back again. This time it is going to be the 3-3 split, but this Ewiz is going to get a couple of big hits in. Where are the Hogs going next for Lion? Are they ever going to come down again?
Maybe even a split. There's a fireball.
There is an RG from Solomon. Bowler RG. Well, that puts a lot of spanners in the work of Lion. Lightning takes out the Hunter, and now this bowler can go ham if he wanted to. 1282 remains on that tower. 1131 though on Solomon's bottom left-hand tower. So damage is getting done. Here are the Hogs. Heal Spirit is there to get a bit of a heal, but the cage is going to be enough to distract for now. They split 3-1 and a couple of hits on that left-hand side. 10-13. RG loaded up just in front of the bowler.
And good defense so far, but RG after the cage. Gets no shot with that Hunter shot, but immediately with that Royal Hogs. But the bowler is a great tool against these Hogs.
No hits at all. Tried to be a little crafty there, Lion. Lightning takes out the Magic Archer. And this is a very close game. Currently only 5 points of damage separating the 2 players. Hogs come down, cage is available. Fireball to get a little bit of extra chip damage in, but Lightning is going to be more powerful, but...
Yeah, great placement of that
one
cage.
hit.
Just one hit from the Royal Hog.
Every hit is important as we get into these last 40 seconds. Fireball will buy enough time for the Hog Riders, the Royal Hogs, to get another bite in on the tower. 492 there. And this Magic Archer.
Oh, locked onto RG immediately. Good spot on the left side so that the Magic Archer doesn't get a through shot into the cage.
RG gets nothing in.
Double the bowler.
That Magic Archer placement isn't in range of a lightning on that right-hand side, because
so.
if it is,
and
it's
RG
not needed.
don't even need it.
There's the lightning, takes out the Hunter.
Gets one in the tower before the pull.
One extra shot is going to be enough to take it. There you have it. Solomon wins it in the last minute. Takes out Line there. Line just could not get those Hogs into tower at all.
Expecting the Royal Hogs to come down on the left. Solomon had basically, he put that great prediction timing with the bowler. And the Royal Hogs, when it's being pushed that much with the Goblins, there we've seen some perfect defense. Solomon knew exactly how much to push, and over the time, because the bowler survives for such a long time, Line had to defend the left and the right.
Yeah, I mean, the Royal Hogs really couldn't get in and around that tower. I think there's only fireball damage there. I thought there might have been one hit before the cage put down. If that had got the connection, though, that would have been huge. 2 extra hits there really would have helped him out.
2 extra hits, fireball, and some extra damage. And if Line actually put a defensive Magic Archer down before this Magic Archer that just disappeared off the monitor, maybe it would have been a different ending.
Yep, but unfortunately, Royal Giant is super duper strong in this meta right now, and Solomon gets the win. Okay, game 5 is upon us. Now, I'm going to say, Talon throws out 1 crown here.
Blizzard.
If they throw out 1 crown, that would actually be a super smart move. Because nobody expects the 1 crown Inquisition, you know, like nobody would expect him to come out here.
Just for 1 game.
Not even Talon. Talon wouldn't even expect him to come out here. That might be a good play, but
so Blizzard's about to step into the door and then
hold on,
guy. Hold on right there.
Okay, it is going to be Blizzard. It is going to be Blizzard. I was dreaming of 1 crown coming
Hold
in
my
here.
device.
1 crown just suplexes Blizzard through the kitchen table that's behind them. Like, anyway, Blizzard against Solomon is up. Now, I think these 2 players definitely have played before, right? They have not. Solomon and Blizzard have never gone head-to-head. Or at least this season. Solomon has lost to Line, lost to Geralt twice from Talon. So we'll see what happens in this one.
This Blizzard trying to keep this in Talon's favor. Solomon about to do what he does the best.
If this goes the way of WEDGM, I feel like they might just have the strength in depth to be able to take the whole thing. But if Talon can win this and build on that 2v2 set that they won earlier, they will be in the strongest position possible, as most likely Geralt will come out in set 3.
Still a snowball with the cage. I think we're looking into Balloon. And Solomon, another graveyard potential. With the Hunter? Okay, let's wait a little more. I think he just wanted snowball for some extra slows.
Oh. Okay, Fisherman played at the back.
We see some Fishermen with the Balloon, but not with the Hunter combination. Usually with the Musketeer or Archers.
There's the graveyard from Solomon. And Mega Knight dropped right in front, tanking up that Baby Dragon. Ewiz is going to make light work of the graveyard, as is that Mega Knight, but splash damage not coming through this time on that Baby Dragon against that Ewiz.
Expecting a graveyard from Blizzard. Can still be a balloon because of a snowball there.
There is the graveyard. No tank this time, it is kind of a naked graveyard. Poison comes in. No damage done whatsoever.
Still before double elixir time, as Blizzard tried to have something, but Solomon had a pretty nice pullback with the bar barrel there. Good, solid play. Now we go into double elixir time where graveyards really shine.
In terms of the balance of the decks, who's going to shine most going into the double elixir, triple elixir
Love
period?
the poison and expecting another poison from Blizzard. And Snowball is going to provide some slow, allowing a few more skeleton hits from the graveyard.
Hunter as well can make those tanks' lives very difficult. Mega Knight going to get a jump in on the Knight there. Nice play last minute. This is quite a few bodies coming over the bridge for Solomon. Is he going to pull the trigger? He is not. Mega Knight comes down again here, just making sure nothing gets through. Blizzard has taken 0 damage thus far.
But Solomon didn't even get 100 damage on the bottom, so it's about as close as it gets. Only one graveyard popped.
All of this is happening down this right-hand side. Nothing going left.
But Solomon now does have that bar putt. That's why Blizzard is also loading up that Mega Knight all the way from back. Baby Dragon does get that splash into the Princess Tower.
When it is this close, every hit matters. Both players there deciding to drop down poisons just to get rid of units off the board. And only the Mega Knight survives on the side of Blizzard. There are 2 Barbs, a Knight, and an Ewiz coming down the lane. This might be the graveyard ghost. I know. Decides to jump in with another Barb Hut here.
Mega Knight such a good tool against the graveyard. Lock just clogging up the bridge with the spawn damage and taking care of most of those barbarians.
The Baby Dragon, the Ewiz there just to make it so the Baby Dragon doesn't get too much.
Pulls the Baby Dragon in for the Hunter to get it down a little easier. But the pressure is building with the double bar putt now for Solomon. He's trying to have 1 big graveyard or 2 to finish the game.
But the Mega Knight is just making that real difficult. Graveyard does come down, couple of hits coming in. Snowball there just separates.
Way too many barbarians though.
And a couple of hits coming through on that bottom side. 2-1-2-2. There is a poison for Blizzard, knowing
Look
damage
at this
needs
push,
to come
though.
through. But the Mega Knight stops it all. That's the thing. No matter how many Bobs come over, that Mega Knight is going to make it difficult for them to get anything done. The Hunter is there. The cage is a good distraction, but look at that. Solomon takes a lead. 1907 against 1938. Solomon
This
loads
many
up.
body with an offensive crate, with an offensive poison. Now Blizzard taking way too much damage. 8 seconds, but the game is going to go for WEDGM to have a big comeback. Another day with Solomon.
Wow, wow, wow.
1 big, gigantic pressure with double the bar putt, 2 baby dragons, mega minions, everything. Even the Mega Knight was just not enough with that many big bodies.
Where was this WEDGM in game 1 last night? Or match 2, sorry, last night. This is a much better performance. And I was saying, I think the match against Kicks has caused a rallying cry of WEDGM. They are looking better than ever.
Like the real barbarians.
Exactly. All right, so everything gets shut down here. Blizzard has a lot. Maybe he could have delayed that ever so slightly.
With the better spawn damage on top of more barbarians.
Yeah, I think that might have been the one out, but the thing is that wouldn't have taken care of those 2 baby dragons and the mega minions, so it's a very difficult decision to make.
Another thing he could have done was Hunter towards the bridge and he was on top of the graveyard. But still the push was going to be massive. You can't really have a perfect defense.
What are we going to get next? What is the 1v1? So it is 1 apiece, 1 set each. Talon took the 2v2. WEDGM took the King of the Hill. And now we're down to those best of 3s.
And let's make a prediction now that it's sort of 1-1. Now we go down to best of 3, a fresh new best of 3 with only 1v1s. But Blizzard is not showing up to a par level today.
No, it's not.
When Wanga actually stepped up, Solomon's always putting up a fight. Higher, that was a pretty close match against Geralt. What do you say?
WEDGM take it in the next 2 sets.
Simon says WEDGM wins.
I say WEDGM wins set 3 and set 4, and we don't get to see a set 5 here.
Ooh.
But it depends.
Really?
It depends who they decide to put in on that set 4. If they put someone like Wonga or Radish or Peas,
they have to.
No, but I think
right?
they would be
it
better
is higher.
set 5. It is going to be higher coming out first. Like, if
So
it's
put
higher than Solomon,
Okay.
at least then you have a chance to win set 3 and set 4 and close it out before set 5.
Okay. Feel the same for Talon. No big upsets. Geralt line Blizzard likely will be the 1v1 order.
And the thing is, when it comes to these 1v1 sets, Talon don't have the results. They don't have the practice. Geralt is the only one to win a 1v1 set so far this season. So far this year, I believe. Oh no, Blizzard did win 1 set last season. But Line went 0 and 3 in sets.
Line did pretty well in King of the Hill though. And it wasn't as if he went down 0-2 all the time.
It's gonna be rough.
But higher Geralt. Again, Geralt going for that rematch.
I mean, I hate to say it, but Destiny is on WEDGM's side. They only finished 2nd. Destiny is on their side. Talon need to be able to stop Destiny from calling here.
Are you saying that WEDGM's going to beat Today and Ponos tomorrow?
Yes. Tomorrow? You mean next week, right?
Oh, next week.
Today is Sunday.
Tomorrow's Monday.
Okay. All right. Higher versus Geralt. Here we go. Geralt's playoff mode seems to have started a bit earlier than usual and seems to have finished already, as he has not had the run of the rub of the green today. And WEDGM seem rallied behind yesterday's Kicks performance.
Wallbreaker with EQ. Okay.
Okay.
And Bowler-nado.
There's the balloon. It's going down the right-hand side, but
is it
Higher
freeze?
has a lot.
Is it not a freeze?
Higher has everything to deal with this. Is he going to get a connection? No. Close, though. Okay, Miner comes in.
I thought Geralt was going to pull a freeze. Maybe not in his hand.
Still a lot of damage done to that bottom right, and the Lumberjack on the left as well. Compounding that. And this is the thing. Geralt can switch, and he'll want to switch more often. The thing with Higher is just the way that splitting wall breakers works. It's not as effective as lobbing them both in the same lane.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to split and go for those somewhat lucky wall breakers.
But the problem is, it's just not as efficient. How is he going to stop these? Are they going to connect? They're going to get a connection, aren't they? One gets a hit, and that changes everything.
Are sneaking in, but the bowler balloon again.
Is about.
And the baby dragon tanking the left side, so.
Oh, and that tornado is wonderful. Is it going to get a hit?
Oh, the death damage. Woo! It was close.
That was, yeah, okay. All right, Miner, wall breakers coming in here. One is going to get a whoa.
Okay, Geralt, I think he has a freeze, but he's scared of those wall breaker timing, so he's not using it. just in case he runs out of elixir.
Well, I mean, he's yet to pair up the Lumberjack with that balloon. Miner comes in again. This time Inferno and Bowler is going to take care of that. The Musketeer is going to chunk away at the Bowler, and another Lumberjack comes in. Are we going to get a balloon down the left-hand side this time round? There is a tornado. Now would be a great go time for that balloon. The Rage is down. I don't think he's going to need it. Oh, he's going to put it down. The Inferno Dragon's trying to get through. The bomb tower is there. The Barbarian is distracting, and that is the freeze of destiny.
Musketeers in the freeze, and that's a connection.
It's going to be 2.
Second drop and the death damage.
That freeze was one of the most valuable freezes I have ever seen. That,
Musketeer just at the edge.
That was looking so janky of a push. Like, it wasn't looking as clean as you would expect a Lumberjack with a Baby Dragon, Inferno Dragon with that balloon push to look. You expect it to look a lot cleaner than that. The balloon came down very late, but it came down at the perfect time, if that makes sense. It looked late, but it was perfect.
Simon, we have a meta deck with a freeze.
Dark days ahead for sure. That was a great tornado there, and just look at this. It just buys so much time, and you expect the balloon to come down a little bit earlier. It comes down right when it needs to. You have this. That Musketeer is only just in the freeze range, buying enough time for the balloon to come in and get those 2 hits. And Higher New is over. Yeah.
That's 2 for 2 out of 4 for that balloon freeze bowler deck.
It's interesting, and it worked this time round for Geralt, but I will say, Higher got a lot of damage in that he should not have got in against Geralt there.
As few wall breakers. Was it just 1? I remember at least 1.
I think,
and mostly from miners.
Yeah, I think that's about right. He might have got 2. I think there was one where I can't remember.
And Higher still had Musketeer, the right combo with the wall breaker, so he could actually deal with the balloon. But when there's a freeze, you need some other source of anti-air, and yet close to none after the bomb tower, doing no work other than destroying the balloon in.
I mean, that bomb tower proved to be clutch against that first balloon. However, thinking about it, what if it worked against him? If that balloon had got a drop, Geralt would have focused completely down that side, and he'd have been railroaded into playing that way. It might have actually came out as a benefit for Higher if that bomb tower didn't get the death damage on the balloon. It's a big what-if scenario, but I feel like that might have changed just the direction the game was going in. It would have caused Geralt to go down the one side, giving Higher the chance to go split lane a bit more. Going down the opposite side?
Have to go to another universe to check that out, but we won't have time travel before that.
Let me just hop in my dimension door and travel through the multiverse. Okay, here we go. Game 2 is upon us. Game 1 went the way of Geralt. This is set 3. And if you're just tuning in, set 1 went the way of Talon. Set 2 went the way of WEDGM. And now set 3 is 1 game in the favor of
Higher
Geralt.
would love to play Hog.
With the snowball. Could very well be.
Never mind.
Miner
Immediate
played
Dark
at
Prince.
the back here.
Oh, even the Ice Golem?
And the archers too. Hog.
Balloon.
You thinking it's the ice golem balloon?
The old golem. Old not golem, whatever. Balloon. Even a graveyard.
Okay, and poison comes down from Geralt. That's going to make it very hard for these graveyards to connect, but a couple of skeletons getting those lucky hits in. 2285 on that tower.
Yeah, we had a few of these Ice Golem Graveyard with, I believe, Fob or Pronos.
I think it was...
They'd had a few games with this deck.
Wasn't it WEDGM who played it as well?
I remember one team was trying this deck over and over again. Was it WEDGM? Towards week 6 or 7?
Let me get right back to you with that one.
And Miner. Geralt looking to just keep the defense on against, yeah, just defensive poison against those skeletons. But few good skeleton scratches even with that, since the Princess Tower did lock onto the Ice Golem a few times and the lava.
It was WEDGM against TTG. They played the Graveyard Cannon card with the Ice Golem, Goblin Cage, Barbar, but it wasn't this particular variant. But I do believe you're right. I think we have seen it.
Yeah, we have seen it at least a couple of times.
Bomb Tower takes out the Nightwish, Poison takes out the Bats, and this Lava Hound now crosses the bridge. It is going to split very early here. One Pup is going to get a connection or two. 2-2-3-0 there, and another Graveyard coming down on the side of Higher. Snowball there slows down all the defense. The aggressive Poison is going to make life very hard. The Dark Prince even getting a hit. It looks as though Geralt is collapsing in on this one. And Higher may have found the deck that just completely unlocks game 2 for him.
As this Dark Prince is doing massive work, charging into the cage and always tanking from the Ice Golem. But defensive poison is sometimes good, but not perfect all the time. As Geralt is looking for one good Miner connection for the Pups to do massive work, but so far, not much again.
Yeah, not really worth the amount of elixir invested into that one. The Baby Dragon is going to help out against the Graveyard, but the Snowball slows down that tower. Poison comes down, and now the clock is ticking for Geralt. 200 left. One Poison will finish it. 160 remains there.
Geralt, he wants to win with the lava. There's no way.
Nope, that is it. I think a couple more hits. 93 Snowball comes in, finishes it off, and Higher takes game 2 against Geralt here. Very much game on between these two now.
Yeah, goes down to the final game. The Ice Golem, see if couple of times, not very many.
Yeah, it's really fallen out of favor. In, you know, we generally see a lot more Knights in that position now.
And we get a lot more with the Inferno Dragon. Had few players playing it back in August, sometimes into September with the Dark Prince.
Deck we haven't seen for quite some time indeed. And it worked perfectly here. Geralt just didn't have the deck to go against it. Even the Dark Prince getting a hit in there was huge. And I mean, what could Geralt have done? There isn't many ways this deck can break through a Graveyard with a Dark Prince.
And the cycle's actually really cheap.
Exactly. He can just go round that deck, around and around and around and around. Geralt can't. Geralt just could not be as aggressive as he needed to be, because as soon as he showed aggression, Dark Prince, Ice Golem, Graveyard. Ice Golem, Graveyard. That is so cheap to build a push on, and when you're getting back to your cards as quickly as Higher was doing there, Geralt had no chance.
And just toss a lava, and everything following on the back will be delayed by the Graveyard. So Higher had a lot more chances to actually get that lava down and separate the units that are following the lava behind. So the game was sort of controlled by Higher there.
Yeah, and defending a Graveyard with a Night Witch is okay. Issue is the poison comes down, your bats get deleted, And you may as well not have bothered throwing that Night Witch down because she effectively becomes useless. Without the poison, Night Witch, good tool. With the poison being played on top of her, you may as well just not have bothered at all.
You think of any other ways? I think that's like the best that you could have done from Geralt.
I mean, yeah, it was the only option he had, really. He had nothing else that could do it, but the problem was he was just running into that poison every time and giving Hire's poison just immense value. Immense. Yes, he had no other option. Geralt had no other option, but just couldn't deal with it. Well, we'll see what happens in Game 3 between these two. Remember, the winner of this will take an advantage going into set 4, as it is 1 apiece. Geralt not able to show the dominating force that he had yesterday against Wedgm. Can he find that spark one more time and bring home a win for his team?
I think it's okay for Geralt to go back to his comfort zone, like the Graveyard RG. I think because he played a lot of games within the last 2 days, he's being forced to play a lot of different choices, different decks. And Lava is not one of his common decks.
E-Golem.
He already used it today.
He'll use it again.
Ooh! Hog from Geralt, not Hire.
Is it going to be EQ with this Hog Rider?
Likely.
Let's see. Geralt has played it before. What did he play Hog Rider with? He played with the Ice Golem, actually. He played the Mega Knight, Inferno Dragon, Goblin Gang, Bats, Zap, Fireball. And he played that against Expo Master and lost.
Yeah, the common spells are Log, Snowball, EQ these days. Sometimes Fireball.
Here we go, Bomb Tower. So it is going to be that very cheap cycle variant of the Hog Rider, but those Royal Hogs are going to get a ton of work done on that left-hand side with the Fisherman. 18 remaining there.
They wanted to get that Musketeer off the board with Snowball Knight. Did end up costing a little more on the left because of that.
So what's Geralt going to put down next?
Still EQ. Higher with the EQ though.
So how will you work the Hog Rider here? There is that EQ, and it being played there on top of the Musketeer is very interesting because you kind of want that to stop the Bomb Tower of Hire, right? Heal Spirit getting a massive heal on those Hogs again, and more damage sneaking through. Geralt seems to have completely lost his way right now.
Yeah, without the Logger, I think it was going to do one shot. It was going to be just a quick cycle for Geralt.
And this is the thing, where is the EQ? He's already used it kind of on the Musketeer, and
yeah, no EQ because he put down the extra log there.
Exactly, but Geralt needs to link that EQ and his Hog Rider to get that damage in. Right now, he might just be biding time to catch Hire off guard, maybe, but that is big. Finally gets the EQ down with the Hog Rider, and it pays a little bit of dividends here, but the Fisherman proving his worth. EQ,
Royal Logs immediately. Fisherman doing some work on the Bomb Tower too. One snuck in already, doing some massive damage down to 616.
Geralt looks like he is completely out of sorts with this Hog Rider deck against the Royal Hog matchup.
One more scratch plus 3 EQ from Hire will do it.
There's the first EQ. Snowball has to come down. 4:12 remaining. Can Geralt do it? The clock is ticking.
He needs some massive push from the Knight. So the Hog Rider sneaks into the right
He's
side.
going to sneak in on the right side there, but unfortunately the Bomb Tower is good. The Hog Rider
and the
is going to get pulled by the
too.
Fisherman, but it doesn't even matter.
Geralt
tower.
starting to feel the same.
It is looking hopeless for Geralt here. Never give up, never surrender, but it is looking very, very rough. The one bright side is right now, Higher still needs 2 EQs to spell it out. There will be 4 left. Snowball's gonna buy a bit of time. Hog Rider gets 1 more hit. Luck comes in, but there's 4 hit points on that tower. The Spear Goblin will finish it out, and Geralt goes down. Higher gets a win.
Now, this is a huge burden on Talon's back now. When it was supposed to be Lion and Blizzard saving the day, never really imagined this day to come, but because of best of 5, and you've already mentioned the results of Lion and Blizzard during the regular season and also last season in this best of 3 format.
Yeah,
they do not perform.
Nope, Lion went 0-3, Blizzard went 1-2, and it's gonna be rough.
And I think it's about the matchup. If Solomon comes now, WEDGM might be going next week.
That's why I said, like, hire Solomon and then someone like Wanga and Peace at the end makes sense here. But I mean, Higher just completely controlled that matchup, beginning to end. The Hog Rider barely even looked dangerous. It was just dealt with far too easily. The bomb tower was there, just making life difficult. Not only was the bomb tower there, but Geralt couldn't really get the Hog EQ together. That package wasn't there until much later in the game. But the problem is, like, trying to defend those Royal Hogs was also real tricky, because no matter where you put that bomb tower, you're probably going to get EQ'd on the tower that's already lowest.
EQ'd on the tower, and also the Fisherman attaches to the bomb tower, so that's extra damage, which buys some more time for the Royal Hogs to actually do damage to the tower. And even worse for Geralt, because through the bomb tower, okay, but Hog's about to go towards the tower, Fisherman hooks.
Well, I mean, it did get 1 hit and then was hooked into the center, where it just got deleted off the face of the earth. Unfortunate for Geralt, doesn't continue that playoff monstrous streak of his. But still good performances. I mean, he didn't go down without a fight today. So we'll see who is up next. Solomon? No, that's Wanga.
I think that's Wanga, and Line for Talon.
Wanga versus Line. What this allows to happen is for... If Wanga can do it, amazing.
Amazing. Like, we can forget about the regular season.
Completely against the run of form. But then Line doesn't win one best of 3, so it's is it against run of form? But Wanga doesn't win. Generally, he's won. It's going to be hard to call here, but the smart thing is you're basically looking at Blizzard versus Solomon at the end of this, and Solomon made Blizzard look like an absolute chump.
Hey, before that, Wanga did show some promising results in King of the Hill. Had a pretty nice game against Geralt just before the set.
I mean, we've been talking about playoff Geralt. Is playoff Wanga a thing now? No, because you lost to Geralt 2-0 yesterday. Okay, Line against Wanga. Can Wanga take that rallying cry that WEDGM cried out yesterday against Kicks and continue getting these wins against a team that basically deleted them off the face of the earth yesterday? Talon took WEDGM yesterday so easily. It was done in 3 sets. Geralt swept the King of the Hill, swept the 1v1. Can the rest of Talon support Geralt here and get these wins?
And a Battle Ram. Seen Battle Ram once yesterday.
Yeah, it seems to be coming back into favor.
With the recruits and the cannon card.
There is the cannon card.
The version yesterday was without the ghost. Yeah, totally a bridge spam from Wanga.
Yeah, just lob everything at the bridge and hope it sticks.
And with the ghost, we're looking into RG, of course, from line. Very likely 3.4. RG and Fireball to be the last two cards.
So the Royal Ghost hovers down that left-hand side. Battle Ram going right.
Does Wango have a Magic Archer or have something else?
If it was Magic Archer, he would have played it right here. I feel. And he gets a dash in on the E-Wiz.
Oh,
Big
there will
heal
be
spirit.
connections.
The Bandit and the Barb are going to get a lot of damage in here, and Line has no elixir to push this away.
Even if he puts something down, it gives a lot more value to the cannon here. So I think that's why Lion wanted to just take few hits, more than few hits.
Soaking up that damage. Can he afford to do it again? He took a lot there. He's down to 1259. About half health done in one push. The Battle Ram.
There's Magic Archer.
Oh, and it's getting the piercing damage against the RG there. 2201. Bandit gets a dash in on the Fisherman. Cannon Cart's going to do its work there. Royal Ghost on the left-hand side, though, does get a few hits in. And these two Royal Ghosts are going to pass each other like ships in the night. Until the Heal Spirit is played.
Interrupts. And the Battle Ram just to take the damage off the E-Wiz there. Good play for Wanga.
Card's going to get across, but it's not going to get in dangerous range.
And no further push with the Bandit this time. Wanga saving for the next chance.
Where are these last two cards? Is Line ever going to be able to get an offensive push going with this deck? There is the first
Finally.
RG. Magic Archer on the side. Cannon Cart's there. It's not going to pop, so this RG is going to get one. It's going to get two. That's all it's going to get. Now this Bandit has proved to be very difficult to deal with. Is dealt with there. The Cannon Cart is now pulled into range, so Line has to have something else there. The two Fishermen, though, are going to make sure that is the case.
Big snaps. Problem will be this Battle Ram that keep on bothering the other side. Lion wants to have a massive push on the right only.
Well, I mean, the good thing is that as we get further and further, that RG can come down more and more. The elixir is going to be there for Line to start throwing it down once we enter triple elixir. There is the RG. The Cannon Cart is placed there. That means it's going to pop. The RG turns around. Not what you want to see if you're Line here, because that RG is instantly shut down. And that is a very healthy Bandit, E-Wiz, and Magic Archer crossing the bridge here.
Still no further damage, and actually Line's not that far off in tower HP.
Yeah, only about 100 here. We're going to wait at least until that Cannon Cart expires. No, decides to put down the RG super early so that another Cannon Cart cannot come down to distract the RG.
The RG connects one shot. Second
Almost
shot
two.
does not come through. Still puts Line in the lead. And so far, Wanga was not able to put anything else in.
Yeah, and he
8
doesn't
seconds.
have a big
There's no spell.
Yeah, he doesn't have a big spell at all. This Battle Ram is all or nothing, but it's not going to make it to the tower. Line takes it here. It was looking bad for Line. Very early on, a lot of damage came through, but Wanga just could not build on that lead. And without a spell, we've talked about this today, without a spell, it is increasingly difficult right now to be able to get in on a tower.
Yeah, tower damaging spell. Come on, Bar Barrel, Heal Spirit.
All right, it's Bar Barrel is a spell. Heal Spirit's not a spell anymore. It finally got changed with the latest update. It's now a unit. Okay. So no direct damage, and Wonga goes down again. If he had one EQ or one snowball, he might have been able to pip a victory here. But this is the push, I think, that gets all the damage for Wonga. Big heal spirit. Bandit doesn't get the dash. If the Bandit had been a square back and got the dash, that would have been even better for Wonga.
Yeah. Elite 160 a shot.
Well, think about it. That tower had been at 1259 the
Forever.
whole time. He couldn't get any extra damage. Line found a way just to hold on.
And no extra damage with the magic archer. I was wondering why Wonga was not putting anything down towards the right, because there was always a fisherman towards the middle, and it was always grabbing onto the magic archer, allowing very few hits only. And I think that costed Wonga just slightly too much in defense, allowing extra hits from the RG and no further steps. And Line actually, after a few of those Bandit heal spirit connecting, he actually put down pretty good placements so that the Bandit does not really step, and the units doesn't really become a stepping stone for a Bandit to actually dash into the tower. Love those new placements after a few taking some damage. And Line with that is controlling the fate of the team.
Can he take us to a set 5? We'll find out. Game 2 is almost here. Wonga goes down like a sack of bricks in game 1, but can he build a wall in game 2? Will Line be able to draw it in the sand and take us to that set 5? We'll find out very, very shortly. Expecting Line to take this one, based on historical results, based on how Wonga has played generally this season. You have to put money on Line. You have to bet on Line to take it. But matchups are a thing.
Yeah, it's a big, huge thing when it comes down to, especially if you know that the player is going to play certain decks. As pull certainly do exist for all these players. Wonga, he get a win and come back in set 4. Let's see. Game 2 of set 4.
Here we go. Wonga in blue at the bottom, Line in red at the top. Line looking to even this game out and take us to a set 5. Wonga looking to draw blood here and find a way back into this set. If he can win this set, it is game over. WEDGM Advanced Talent drop out.
Again, the battle ram.
What has he made any adjustments to this though? That's going to be the question.
Or is it the same exact deck that Wonga has just played in the previous game?
If it is exactly the same, no, it's not. Flying Machine is going to be there, and Flying Machine is a very, very tricky card to deal with if you don't have that Fireball.
So with the skeletons.
EQ comes down, one hit there with that Baby Dragon. Here we go. Royal Recruits played at the back. Again, I don't think there's going to be a spell with Wonga's deck here, which is going to be very awkward to get direct damage in. Tornado pulls everything into the center. That cannon card is going to sneak through, though. It's going to get 1. It's going to get 2.
Pulls it out of range. Even the Barbarian gets a swing. 2, 3.
But we saw this last game. We saw this last game. The last game these two played without the direct damage. Wonga couldn't close it out. Line found the defensive pattern he needed. And this RG is exploiting a window. The Hunter is there to try and stop it, but 1 shot gets through. 2 shots get through. 13-41. That advantage doesn't look that big anymore.
And the other bomb tower disc recruits are also going to have a massive chance of reaching the tower.
Another bomb tower has to get played, but
Steel
it's
Spirit
instantly off the board. Oh my goodness, Lion has to throw everything in the kitchen sink and the battle ram has to connect. He had no choice. This fly machine is also going to get a connection. That is tower down. Wonga takes game 2 by the look of it. 10 seconds left. It's going to require a miracle for Lion to get that tower down. But miracles do not happen here in Clash Royale.
Wonga putting down the fisherman right there says, you cannot try anymore, RG. And wow, still 1-1 though.
It is still 1-1.
Line jumps out. Says that, oh, what a matchup. I thought it was a similar battle ram. How can I lose against the battle ram deck in 2020? No, that was actually really great adjustments. Flying machine, and there's no fireball. If you're relying a lot on the earthquake. Extremely cheap cycle with the RG. But when your bomb tower is just being destroyed so easily against those cannon cart, the flying machines all the time.
I mean, that cannon cart there got so much damage in.
This 1 HP barbarian
just lives forever. Hero barb right there.
Yeah, flying machine destroying that bomb tower.
And again, I mean, Line just got played like an absolute fiddle in this one. Wonga, hats off to him, takes game 2 after losing game 1 in an agonizing style. Manages to get a battle ram connection.
A different type of battle ram.
And then,
who would have imagined?
Oh, Flying Machine 2.
I know you're a big Flying Machine fan.
I love that card. I think it's one of the best cards in the game. Game 3 is here. Line didn't play game 1 clean, but he won it. Game 2, Line didn't play clean, and he lost. Game 3,
he's going to play clean.
He has to play clean. He has to. Because Wonga could close it out and get the biggest win so far this season, and perhaps the year for his team, because that books them that golden ticket to Worlds. Wonga, the guy who was 0-7 until almost the end of the season, can close it out for WEDGM.
I know if he wins this game, he can go home and just stretch and get a nice sleep tonight.
It doesn't matter what you do for the rest of the season. You could go 0-13, but if you win when your team needs you, that absolves everything before.
And Line did look quite stressed after that loss.
So here we go. Game 3 is almost here.
And match point for WEDGM. And Wonga do it for the team, advancing into next week. Day 3 of playoff.
Let's find out. Wonga is in blue at the bottom. Line is in red at the top.
Or Line, bringing us to set 5.
It's not looking good for Line so far. He has kind of been outplayed by Wonga. Line was kind of lucky in the first one. Wonga game 2 though, realized what he needed to do with that battle ram deck. Got game 2 under his belt. And right now, Barb Hut on the side of Line.
Hut with the baby dragon, expecting US Fisherman, then RG. And might be the same for Wonga.
There's the RG on the left. It is going to be pulled by the Barb Hut though, so it's not going to get that much at all because the Mega Minion is going to help take it down with a little bit of help from the Barbs. 0 damage done, so that is Wonga's go sign. Fireball has to come down. That cleans up everything, but this RG is still going to get 1. It's still going to get 2. And that is an early advantage for Wonga.
Not a massive lead, but good enough to put him in a comfortable position in 130. As Elixir about the same.
Wonga is playing the best we have seen him all year right now.
Putting out a fantastic form here. Also, the cycle's working out for Wonga really well, not going across the line so that the Princess Tower locks onto a shot.
Oh, that Baby Dragon's in that sweet spot too.
That's exactly why you have Baby Dragon all the time, seeing there.
Okay, so the barbs are dealt with. This is a chance to build a push. Fisherman played at the back. And Wonga just has so many options. He's going to go RG on the right.
That's also possible.
Decides to go on the left Fireball just to try and open and delete some of those supporting troops. But this time it looks like the RG. Oh, nothing done. The Ewis doesn't even get a consolation hit on the right-hand side either. It is all going wrong for Line. It is all going right for Wonga. Fireball connects too.
So some more damage put in. No direct shot from the RG, but still another Fireball is good enough for Wonga.
2 hits from the Baby Dragon. Is that the rallying call for Line's troops? Wonga is just playing out of this world. We joke about how his performance all season long has not been that great, but he is putting on an absolute performance against Line right now.
Okay, does depend on the timing because Wonga put the hut down first. Might just go for a defensive play as he's in about 400 lead. A little more with the Fireball.
Heal Spirit's going to get that heal off. 1682 against 2268. There is so many bodies in this middle section over the bridge that it is becoming increasingly difficult for an RG to find its way down. Neither player is pushing that fact right now.
Another great Fireball right in the middle. Isn't the tower, but still good enough. And the RG loaded up by Line. It's coming down on the barb hut. Fresh.
It's going to be a Fireball. The Heal Spirit is there. That's a big heal. The Barb Barrel comes a little bit late, but RG deleted. Baby Dragon is going to try and do what it can. RG loaded on the right. That is a super smart move. Fireball is thrown into the units here. Barb Hut in the face. We've seen that this has been the curtain calls a couple of times tonight. RG, it's going to get one. It's only going to get one. Wonga doing his best.
25 seconds
to shut it down. 20 seconds left for Wonga to become the hero of WEDGM. Fireball comes in to try and find some space for that RG, but it doesn't get it. 10 seconds left. Is Wonga gonna do it?
Might be too late. That's just enough for not enough for the shot, and the damage. It's enough. Wonga is going to pull that amazing victory in set 4 and pulls WEDGM into day 3 of playoff. They're in top 4. They are going to Worlds.
What a performance from Wonga, a guy who has been a punching bag all season long. He was a punching bag yesterday for Geralt. He ended up 0-2 right there in that best of 3. But Line has not won a best of 3 all season long. He hasn't won a best of 3 all year long in Clash Royale League. And Wonga gets a win. He closes it out for WEDGM. What a day for him.
To be honest, we've never seen Wonga play this well. He's a different person. Turned into a different form today as pulled out something else inside of him, and this switch was amazing. Just enough in timing, pushes it back.
But that tower took massive amounts of damage, and I think it's the counter-attack here.
Yeah, it locks onto the Mega Minion. E-Ways.
That took the tower down so far. We were so focused on the left-hand side, you barely saw that 1250 was remaining there. An MVP.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't even matter if someone else got more crowns. He is the MVP today. He absolutely deserves it. He brings it home for WEDGM. And honestly, after yesterday's performance, where Talon and Geralt absolutely dominated WEDGM, for them to have the resolve to first take down Kicks in a best of 5. It went all the way. And then to take down Talon, the team who pushed them down into that loser's bracket, is just insane. And they thoroughly deserve right now to go against Ponos.
Wow.
And
so
continue their run to second place.
So 2 Chinese teams, 2 Japanese teams in that top 4. What a day.
It's been... I'm just Wonga, man. Like, you 0-7 until the last 3 weeks. And now you bring it home for your team. I mean, he's going to be walking on cloud 9 tonight. Seriously, that guy is going to be floating home. I don't know about driving or walking. He is floating his way back to his house
Like
tonight.
his teammates better be carrying him to...
Well, he carried them. Who would have thought we'd say that Wonga carried WEDGM tonight? Today's results. FOV Gaming 3-0 Talon. It was closer than that scoreline looks, though. And then WEDGM 3-1 over Talon. And that does confirm FAV versus Nova. Then WEDGM versus Ponos.
Talon looked very shaky against FOB today. That was a 3-0. And after that, I thought it was possible because they had a lot of those moments where they seemed shaky. But Geralt putting out some amazing games. I expected some more wins from Lion and Blizzard, but did not even get to see Blizzard in 1v1 set.
Yeah, Lion continues. That means this year, Lion is 0-4 in set score in best of 3s. Not including the 2 he played this season, actually. Wow, 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 wow. He is 0-7 when it comes to best of 3s.
What a day. Down to top 4 teams now from 8. Only have 2 days left of the season.
And every team that remains that you will see next week is going to Worlds.
And next week we will have Ponos and Nova playing in playoff. And they also might be dropped down. Still there, every team is going to that World Finals, but you do want to go for that Grand Final.
And we will be going now. Next week is the end of the tournament. We will have a winner by this time next week. So stay tuned for that next week. We'll see you all next time.